He never imagined that the Silver Dragon Queen, his enemy for decades, would turn out to be a white-haired woman with an imposing presence. What was even harder to accept was her revenge. The first thing she did was give birth to a pair of adorable twin daughters for him. All of it stemmed from the moment he activated the blood seed at death's door. After tasting his blood, a faint, unreadable smile had once appeared on her lips. As the queen of the Silver Dragons, she should never have endured such humiliation. Yet instinct overpowered restraint. Dragonkind followed strict monogamy. From that moment on, she could never seek another mate, and that reality drove her hatred deep. What infuriated her even more was that he now wished only to die. Gritting her teeth, she declared, "For the sins you vile humans have committed against Dragonkind, this queen will repay you double. From now on, you will obediently raise my children." Only then did it become clear that dragons were the strongest race on the continent. Few in number, they nonetheless mastered ancient magic. Humans were weak, yet resilient enough to survive countless wars of extinction. The slaughter between humans and dragons had lasted for thousands of years, until one man appeared and shifted the tide. The Empire's strongest hero, once the sole hope of ending the war. He never foresaw betrayal by those closest to him, nor that the final battle would end with him captured by dragons. That man's name was Leon. The Silver Dragon Queen stepped into the dungeon like a victor, contempt unmistakable in her eyes. The scent of alcohol still clung to her, her flushed cheeks betraying a celebration taken too far. She sneered, "So, great dragon-slaying hero, how does it feel to kneel as a prisoner beneath Dragonkind?" Leon answered with a cold laugh. "Winners rule, losers fall. It's only death. Why waste effort humiliating me?" Her gaze was filled with disdain. "You still think you're that hero? Now you're nothing but a delusional insect." She deliberately lifted his chin, studying him. "Still, you're tough. A few more scars might even suit you." Her little finger traced his cheek, drawing a thin line of blood. Pain no longer mattered. Leon met her cold smile head-on. "Silver Dragon Queen, you think this will make me submit? Dream on." She placed the finger in her mouth and smiled darkly. "Swear loyalty to the Silver Dragons, and I might deal with those traitors for you, and keep you at my side to serve." Leon snorted. "What? Are the male dragons useless? Can't satisfy a half-human freak like you?" That remark completely enraged her. A silver tail lashed out, smashing Leon hard into the stone wall. Blood spilled from Leon's mouth. He could clearly feel the damage to his organs. She planted a foot on his chest and sneered. "You think dying here will make the world hail you as a hero? You're trash, no different from a goblin. If I'm in a good mood, I'll give you two choices: die under torture or submit as my slave and maybe cling to life." Leon spat blood and laughed. "Pathetic beast." She frowned slightly, her tail tightening around his neck. "A stubborn bone. Too bad you're almost dead." Her voice returned to cold, royal authority. Leon's face turned blue from suffocation, yet his glare never wavered. Clenching his teeth, Leon forced the words out. "Silver Dragon Queen, you've made two mistakes since just now." The Silver Dragon Queen froze for a moment, clearly caught off guard. Leon spoke calmly, each word sharp. "First, you shouldn't be alone with the strongest dragon slayer alive. Second, you never should have tasted my blood." Before the words faded, his eyes snapped wide as a crimson sigil erupted from his body. In that instant, searing heat surged through the queen, her thoughts slipping out of focus. The tail coiled around Leon's neck finally slackened and fell away. Instinctive fear forced her back several steps. Then came the crushing wave of weakness that flooded her limbs. "This heat, what is happening to my body?" the Silver Dragon Queen murmured as she collapsed to the floor. The faint flush on her face deepened, her breathing growing ragged. Leon threw his head back and laughed. "Your Majesty, enjoy a taste of human malice. Soon you'll learn what my blood curse truly brings. Agony etched into your soul for the rest of your life." Unexpectedly, she sprang up like a beast driven mad and lunged at him. Words in an ancient tongue spilled from her lips, her eyes burning with raw desire. Before Leon could react, she grasped his face and kissed him. He tried to resist, but his battered body had no strength left. And so, the Silver Dragon Queen and Leon, dragon and man, endured a long, endless night. When the queen finally awoke, confusion filled her eyes as exhaustion weighed down her body. Seeing the chaos around her, she realized the unthinkable had truly happened. Clinging to a sliver of denial, she bit down hard on her lip. Then she glared at Leon and demanded furiously, "You filthy human, what did you do to me?" Leon, far calmer by contrast, spoke with effort. "What I used on you was a forbidden art. Bloodseed, a spell meant to bind my blood and soul to yours, so that after my death, the curse would drag you into endless torment. Her rage exploded. Lies. If it only activates after you die, then what was that just now? Leon answered evenly, an accident. I never expected the curse's side effect would make you. Her face burned crimson as she cut him off. Enough. Shut your mouth, despicable human. Leon laughed mockingly. The outcome exceeded my expectations. Dragonkind follows monogamy, does it not? After my death, the great silver dragon queen will never take another mate, never bear heirs, and never explain this disgrace to her own kind. She ground her teeth, her face turning ashen with fury. Leon continued smugly. You said I'd die without a legacy. Seems you won't have one either. No, you'll have none at all. Rage and humiliation twisted together in her eyes. At last, she raised her claws, murderous intent clear, ready to tear him apart. Leon merely smiled bitterly. Kill me if you wish, your majesty. My life is already ending. The price of the bloodseed is the caster's life, and I won't be alive much longer. Leon spoke softly. And you, your majesty, will live on, carrying your hatred for me and pain that cuts through your entire life. That is my curse, cast upon you as a human. Not long after, the man's body lost all signs of life. The echoes in the vast dungeon rang again and again, pounding against the silver dragon queen's heart. She straightened her disheveled clothes. After a long silence, she finally steadied herself and kicked the corpse viciously. You use such despicable means on me and think death lets you escape? There's no bargain that cheap. I won't grant you that mercy. Gathering her own essence in her palm, she slammed it into his chest, teeth clenched. Damn, man. I'll make sure you learn what worse than death truly means. At the same time, Leon seemed to sink into an endlessly long dream. In that dream, he retraced his life. An orphan raised in a monastery. At 5, killing a vicious dog with his bare hands, only to be noticed by a legendary dragon slayer who took him as a disciple. At 10, he entered the Imperial Military Academy. For years later, he graduated with the highest honors at the youngest age in history. At 15, he stepped on a battlefield between humans and dragons, slaying countless WRMS, reclaiming lost lands, earning unmatched merit for the Empire. His name spread as the soul hoped to end the war. Years of bloodshed carried the name Leon to every corner of the Empire. What the young hero failed to realize was simple. An orphan with no backing should never have commanded such popular support. His prestige had surpassed the throne itself. Thus, on the day of the final battle against the Silver Dragons, just as victory over the Silver Dragon Sanctum was within reach, he was betrayed by those he trusted and reduced to a dragon's captive. That bitterness forced his eyes open. He found himself in a warm, lavish room. His body felt numb and weak, but it could move. Bracing himself, he sat up and looked around. Suddenly, the door clicked open, and a small, clear voice rang out. You're awake. Leon turned to see a little girl at the doorway. 3 or 4 years old, chubby-cheeked, and impossibly cute. Her silver and black hair made his heart sink. He asked her what her mother's name was. When she answered, the Silver Dragon Queen, Leon froze on the spot. He pointed to himself, trembling. Your mother is the Silver Dragon Queen? Then I'm. Before he could finish, the girl answered brightly, Of course you're my dad. Leon was stunned, a helpless thought flashing through his mind. Was this really happening? At that moment, a familiar, icy voice sounded behind him. You scumbag. You can't even recognize your own daughter. Muin saw her mother and happily swished her little tail, throwing herself into her arms. Mother! Father finally woke up. The Silver Dragon Queen met Leon's gaze, amusement dancing in her eyes. So you're awake at last. I thought you planned to run away and abandon us. Little Muin nodded earnestly. That's right. Mother was so happy when Father woke up. She comes to see him every day. The Queen gave a soft snort, smiling meaningfully. Of course. All I think about each day is Father waking up sooner. After all, if you don't wake, how could I spoil you? Leon sneered inwardly. That kind of talk might fool a child, but her so-called affection sounded more like she wanted him erased down to the ashes. The Silver Dragon Queen gently stroked Muin's head, her voice soft. Be good, Muin. Go play with your dragon brothers and sisters. All right? Mother needs to speak with Father alone. As the little girl skipped away, the Queen immediately locked the door with her tail. So, do you like the daughter I bore for you? She stepped closer. Leon instinctively backed away. Is Muin really my daughter? You should hate me to the core. Why give birth to her, and why keep me alive? The Queen licked her lips, her tone sharp and dangerous. Do you think 2 years of sleep would erase my hatred? What you did to me back then, I remember every detail. Since you dare to defy me once, I'll break dragon law today and punish you myself. Yet the violent sway of her tail didn't look like anger at all. With nowhere left to retreat, Leon collapsed back onto the bed. You think I wanted that? Humans and dragons are natural enemies. If my life hadn't been on the line, I would have died before touching a monster like you. The queen closed in at once, a faint fragrance filling the air. With a mocking smile, she asked, "So touching me was torture for you?" Leon shot back without hesitation. "Absolutely. Touching you makes me sick. Just looking at you turns my stomach." Before he could finish, her silver tail wrapped around his leg and flung him hard back onto the bed. "You beast, what are you doing?" Leon tried to resist, but his strength failed him as her revenge truly began. She tore open his shirt with a sharp motion. A silver dragon sigil surfaced on the back of her hand. No matter how Leon struggled, the queen ignored him and carved the mark onto his body. "Leon, this is my revenge." She laughed coldly. "With this dragon mark, you'll be my prisoner for eternity. You belong to me and will never leave. When your fellow humans see it, what will they think? Heroic dragon slayer or traitor who bowed to the dragons?" Leon endured the searing pain, confusion flooding his mind. A dragon only had one chance in a lifetime to bestow a mark, and the Silver Dragon Queen sigil was the highest honor among dragonkind, something countless dragon kings coveted. She leaned close to his ear and whispered, "I want you to live your entire life in this disgrace, to have your pride crushed by me." Her heels clicked against the floor. Her dragon eyes turned icy and vicious, silver tail raised high, ready to strike. "If you want to defend that pathetic dignity of yours, then face me in a real confrontation." And so, day after day, the torment taught Leon what inhuman suffering truly meant. After 2.5 days, his body was on the verge of collapse. As the memories of that ordeal replayed in his mind, Leon clenched his fists in fury, cursing silently. He would never submit. A true hero would never become a dragon's plaything. Just then, whispers and soft laughter drifted down the corridor. "Her Majesty seems to be in a great mood today." Another maid chimed in. "Didn't you hear? Her husband woke up. The little princess was overjoyed last night." Leon felt a growing unease. What was that dragon woman really up to? Declaring him her husband everywhere. Did she actually have feelings for him? The thought vanished the moment he recalled her terrifying combat power. He had no intention of ending up as a dried corpse on Dragon Isle. Before long, Leon began plotting his escape. Thankfully, he still remembered the terrain. Even after more than 2 years, the Silver Dragon lair hadn't changed much. The real problem was the heavily guarded main gate. Taking down the guards wouldn't be hard for him, but it would definitely alert the Silver Dragon Queen. As he hesitated, his peripheral vision caught sight of a hole along the wall. Leon froze. A dog hole? Dragons didn't even keep dogs. Stranger still, the opening was just large enough for an adult to crawl through, almost as if it had been designed for him. It screamed trap, but he had no luxury to overthink. If he didn't leave now, that dragon woman would torture him to death in increasingly creative ways. Even if it was a trap, he had to take the risk. Leon crouched and crawled inside, cursing under his breath. As for the little princess, cute as she was, she'd have to count as a breakup fee. Her dragon traits were far too obvious to bring into human society. What Leon didn't know was that Muin had witnessed everything. "Mom, look, Dad's amazing. He's crawling through a dog hole." The Silver Dragon Queen, basking lazily in the sunlight, chuckled. "I see it. Quite impressive." Muin's tail wagged excitedly. "When are you going to go get Dad back?" The queen knelt down and gently pressed a finger to Muin's lips. "Don't say get him back. That's rude." Muin tilted her head. "Then what should I say?" The queen let out a soft hum as her pupils narrowed into vertical slits, the unmistakable sign of draconic possession. "You say, capture him." By evening, Leon had already escaped the dragon fortress. A few more mountains, and he'd reach human territory. He glanced back and relaxed slightly. After running this far, there was no way she could catch up, right? The sky answered with a thunderous dragon's roar. A massive silver form burst through the clouds. Leon's blood ran cold. He'd forgotten one critical detail. That woman could fly. He sprinted with everything he had, but no human legs could outrun a dragon. In a flash, the silver dragon landed in front of him, scales gleaming, body towering like a fortress. "You're pretty good at running," the queen's voice echoed. "It still took me 2.5 minutes to catch you." The mocking tone made Leon swallow hard. Without thinking, he blurted out, "Your Majesty, calm down. I can't handle your dragon form. If you come down on me, I'll be flattened on the spot." Her draconic eyes remained cold and focused. Leon forced a bitter smile. So this is it then? If you're going to kill me, Queen, I've been ready. The Silver Dragon Queen lowered her massive head, her tone dripping with mockery. So what if you return to human lands? That mark on your chest is mine. Do you really think they'll still call you a dragon-slaying hero? Leon snorted. Then I'll live as an ordinary man. That's still better than being tortured by you. Insolent, the queen snapped, spreading her wings and whipping up a violent gale. In the next instant, she seized Leon in her claws and shot straight into the night sky. Leon roared, "Let go! Where are you taking me?" She laughed coldly. "Since you're so eager to go back, I'll personally escort you to the Empire." 2.5 hours later, one man and one dragon descended onto a mountain overlooking the imperial capital. The queen released her grip, sending Leon plummeting downward. Fortunately, dense forest broke his fall. Otherwise, he would have been reduced to pulp. Struggling to his feet, Leon stared at the brightly lit city ahead, emotions flickering in his eyes. Had she truly sent him back to the human world? In the next moment, she shifted into human form and stood before him. She sneered. "You think crossing that line means you're home again? Sorry, Leon, you're not going back." As she spoke, the dragon's sigil on her chest glowed with a pale violet light. Leon's own mark responded, shining faintly in return. The queen stepped closer, her voice low. "You forgot one thing. Once a dragon mark is formed, any attempt to escape triggers an irresistible affection. Tell me, don't you feel the heat spreading through your body already?" She placed her hand against his chest. Leon staggered back and shouted, "Have you lost your mind?" Her smile turned savage, desire burning in her slit pupils. "I did on purpose. I want you to understand humiliation, right here, in front of your homeland. From this moment on, your dignity belongs beneath my feet." Leon growled. "You think this will break my resolve?" He grabbed her hand tightly. "If you insist on pushing me this far tonight, then from now on, it's you and me until death." The queen froze for a brief moment. Then she smiled, amused. "Don't blink, Leon. Look at your home. Look at your honor." With that, she lunged forward, laughing madly. "I'll be waiting for that eternal feud of yours." 2.5 minutes later, Leon lay on the grass in utter despair as the queen mocked him. "If only your performance matched that tough mouth of yours." Once again, the legendary dragon slayer had become a dragon rider. She adjusted her clothes with satisfaction and poked his chest playfully. "How about this? I bring you back here every month to visit home." Leon retreated in fury. "Your malice makes me sick. All you want is to humiliate me." She burst into laughter. "Looks like you figure me out." With a rush of wind, the Silver Dragon Queen spread her wings, ready to return to the Dragon Fortress. "Come on, our daughter's waiting at home." Leon refused at once. "I'm a dragon-slaying hero. I won't be dragged back like prey. I'll walk on my own." The Silver Dragon Queen chuckled behind him. "You're all talk. Walking back to the Silver Dragon Temple would take at least 2.5 years. With your current condition, do you really think you'd survive?" Leon ignored her and stubbornly kept moving forward. She didn't seem annoyed in the slightest. Instead, she smiled lightly. "Fine. I'd like to see how long you last." Less than half an hour later, Leon was drenched in sweat and gasping for air. No surprise, considering the intense struggle he had endured earlier. The queen mocked him. "Great dragon slayer, already exhausted? Want to beg me for help?" Her tone dripped with malicious amusement. Leon snapped back. "Who says I can't keep going? Don't underestimate humans." She sneered. "Right, your mouth's the only tough thing about you." At that moment, the sound of approaching hoofbeats echoed from a distance. Leon looked up and saw a small unit of the dragon-slaying corps passing through the area. Hope flickered in his chest. Maybe they could help him escape the queen. But the thought died before it reached his lips. He knew better than anyone that if he called out, the Silver Dragon Queen would slaughter them without hesitation. The soldiers noticed the pair and greeted them. "Are you two lost out here?" To protect the innocents, Leon answered quickly, "No, we're just taking a walk." One of the soldiers dismounted. "This forest isn't safe for sightseeing. Dangerous beasts roam here. Want us to escort you?" He added, "By the way, I'm Walker, captain of the Empire's 47th Dragon Slaying Squad." As Walker stepped closer, Leon immediately moved in front of the queen, deliberately blocking her tail. "Thank you, but we've had some basic self-defense training. We'll manage." Walker then frowned and said Leon looked oddly familiar, asking whether he had once served in the Dragon-Slaying Corps. At the same time, killing intent surfaced in the queen's eyes. Purple magic began gathering in her palm. If she struck now, none of these soldiers would survive. Leon grabbed her hand without hesitation, letting the searing magic scorch his skin. She froze. In the next instant, Leon pulled her into his arms, wrapping an arm around her waist. The sudden closeness stunned her, and the magic dissipated. Leon forced a smile at Walker. "Sir, you must be mistaken. I just have a common face. Even my wife confuses me sometimes." Then, leaning close to the queen's ear, he whispered, "I'll listen to you from now on. Please, just play along and send them away." Seeing the couple act so intimately, the soldiers clearly misunderstood the situation. Walker laughed and waved goodbye. Only after they were gone did Leon finally breathe a sigh of relief. The queen spoke coldly. "Are you done hugging me?" She looked him up and down in disdain and shoved him aside with her tail. "You grabbed my waist because you were afraid I'd kill them, weren't you?" When Leon didn't answer, she crossed her arms. "I'll admit, you're clever, but don't get it wrong. Just because we have a child doesn't mean I'm your wife." Leon spat back. "Like I'm dying to be your husband." She muttered, "Bastard," and turned away in a huff. In the end, Leon's body could no longer hold out. Darkness overtook his vision, and he collapsed unconscious. The queen glanced back and snorted. "Finally gave up? Go on, beg me. I'll take you back to rest." But the man on the ground didn't respond at all, and a strange, unfamiliar ache flickered through her heart. The strange softness in the Silver Dragon Queen's eyes vanished almost instantly, replaced by her usual icy composure. Fragile human. In the next second, she gently picked up the half-dead man with her jaws. Leon was tossed onto her broad back without ceremony. Her wings beat powerfully as she rose into the night sky, sneering, "So stubborn. I'll count this as you begging." Leon remained unconscious for 2.5 days before finally waking inside the Dragon Fortress. The moment he opened his eyes, he saw Muin sitting neatly beside his pillow in a perfect duck sit. "Dad, you're awake. I bandaged you myself." She puffed out her chest proudly, her little tail sticking straight up behind her. Only then did Leon remember being burned by the queen's magic. Staring at the gentle little dragon before him, confusion crept into his heart. Dragon scholars often claimed that dragonkind were brutal creatures, raised amid bloodshed from childhood. Yet Muin showed him no hostility at all. She accepted him as her father without question. How had that perpetually scowling, unhinged dragon queen raised such a sweet child? Leon quietly reassured himself. Clearly, the good genes came from him. He smiled weakly and ruffled Muin's hair. "You did great, Muin. You're so cute. When you grow up, don't be grumpy like your mom. That's not what a good dragon should be." His words were abruptly cut off by the Silver Dragon Queen standing in the doorway, her gaze sharp and cold. Leon awkwardly looked away and chuckled. "You're her mother. Your call." Muin proudly lifted Leon's hand. "Mother, I did exactly the way you taught me. Dad's wounds are all bandaged." The queen's expression didn't change. "Well done." Leon expected Muin to feel hurt by the indifference, but she only beamed. "Thank you, mother." People often say mothers are kind and fathers are strict, but this family seemed completely reversed. Leon patted Muin's head. "Why don't you go hide in the garden? I'll count to 100 and come find you." Muin's eyes sparkled. "Really? Daddy's going to play hide and seek with me." Leon tapped his chest confidently. "Of course. I'm not like your mom." As he began counting, Muin happily dashed out of the room. Only Leon and the queen remained, staring at each other in silence. After several tense seconds, Leon spoke first. "Aren't you a little too strict with her?" The queen crossed her legs on the bed and snorted. "That's how dragons are raised. Only discipline creates strong warriors." Leon frowned. "But she's not fully dragon, and she's adorable. Don't you feel even a little soft toward her?" The queen's brows knit together. "She's a dragon. Cute is an insult in our culture." Leon smirked. "And I guess you're pretty cute too." Her fangs clenched, the lazy calm in her eyes vanishing instantly. She stood up abruptly and yanked Leon toward her. "Know your place," she said coldly. "You're nothing more than a tool for venting my anger. Don't push your luck." Leon wisely swallowed his retort. After all, knowing when to yield was a survival skill. Perhaps realizing she had gone too far, the queen coughed lightly, her tone softening. "Good. I'm a Silver Dragon Queen. I have duties to attend to. Taking care of the child, that's your job." Without waiting for a reply, she began straightening his clothes. She leaned close and whispered by his ear, "The child seems to like you." "Actually, I do too." The words made him pause, his thoughts drifting as distant memories surfaced. Back when he trained under his master, the master's wife would do the same, quietly straightening clothes whenever her husband left. Leon snapped himself awake inwardly. Get a grip. The Silver Dragon Queen is humanity's enemy. These words are probably just meant to make me let my guard down. Just then, he noticed a familiar small figure flicker at the end of the corridor. He turned and called out, "Come out, Muin." Instead, the figure shot him a look as if he were an idiot, then disappeared, leaving behind an awkward silence. His heart sank. Why did that child look like she hated him? Had he kept her waiting too long and made her angry? He hurriedly apologized, but she only turned and ran. Soon, the garden filled with the sight of him chasing after a child. His weakened body betrayed him. After just one turn, he completely lost sight of her. He laughed bitterly to himself. No wonder the Silver Dragon Queen dumped childcare on me. A child's emotions are harder to read than a battlefield. Suddenly, Muin leapt onto his back from behind and cheered. Muin caught Daddy. Startled, he asked, "Muin, didn't you just run past me a moment ago?" She shook her head, looking wronged. No, Daddy couldn't find Muin, so Muin came to find Daddy. He frowned. Did I really see wrong? Had that dragon woman already tortured him badly enough to give him hallucinations? After that, he stayed with Muin, drawing together in the garden. Living on dragon territory was a slow torment, but at least Muin gave him moments of relief. Leon made a silent vow. One day, he would take her and escape the Silver Dragon Queen's control. Muin ran up, holding a drawing excitedly. Daddy, look, Muin drew a family portrait. He was about to praise her, but froze the moment he saw it. What should have been 3 figures showed for instead. Pointing at the extra little girl, he hesitated. Sweetheart, who's this? Why is she in our family picture? Muin answered proudly. That's Big Sister. Daddy hasn't met her before. Leon's mind went blank. Since when was there an older sister? Were they twins? He suddenly recalled the child he'd seen earlier in the garden and felt a wave of regret. He hadn't mistaken the person, he'd mistaken the name. No wonder she'd looked at him that way. Seeing him downcast, Muin quickly comforted him. Daddy, don't be sad. Big Sister isn't mad. She's just shy because it's the first time she met Daddy. Thinking about it that way, it made sense. He'd never met his eldest daughter. It was natural for her to avoid a stranger. His gaze shifted toward the Silver Dragon Temple in the distance, irritation rising. The Silver Dragon Queen clearly owed him an explanation. At that moment, the Queen herself was reading a letter delivered by a messenger dragon no larger than a pigeon. After a few lines, she frowned slightly and murmured, "Why does my sister have to visit at a time like this?" Suddenly, hurried footsteps echoed outside the door. She looked up. Bang! The door burst open as the man stormed in, complaints spilling from his mouth. Calmly, she put the letter away and smiled faintly. Why are you here? Didn't I tell you to play with Muin? Or were you lonely and wanted to be a dragon rider again? Leon snorted coldly. Silver Dragon Queen, your mind is filthy. I'm here for one thing. How long were you planning to hide it? Why didn't you tell me I have another daughter? She turned her head away arrogantly. You already know now, don't you? Her indifferent attitude irritated him, and he mocked her. I guess I should thank you. Giving birth isn't easy, yet you went ahead and gave me 2 kids at once. To show my appreciation, once I return to the Empire, I'll make sure your name is written into my family's lineage. The Silver Dragon Queen's expression darkened instantly. Congratulations. You've successfully disgusted me, she said coldly. But do you know why I never told you about my eldest daughter? He replied without hesitation. What else could it be? You were jealous of how close I am to Muin, so you deliberately kept Noah from meeting her father. She raised an eyebrow. You're that eager to see her? His patience clearly wore thin. Obviously, who wouldn't want to meet their own daughter? I'm not like you, a cold-blooded dragon who treats her kids like that. She let out a soft chuckle. Fine, just don't regret it. Evening soon arrived. As planned, Leon decided to cook personally, hoping to use food to bridge the gap between himself and his eldest daughter, Noah. After all, if you want to win over a little dragon girl, the fastest way is through her stomach. The creamy stew was one of his go-to dishes from his part-time days, and its mild sweetness was perfect for children. With skills like these, building father-daughter rapport should have been effortless. Even the maids outside the window couldn't stop praising him. His Highness just recovered from a serious illness, yet he's still cooking for his family himself. What a devoted husband. Before long, the Silver Dragon Queen entered the hall, holding both daughters by the hand. She instructed the 2 maids in charge of the meals. You're not needed for tonight's dinner. Go rest. At that moment, Leon walked out carrying the stew and smiled. Perfect timing. Come eat while it's hot. Muin immediately threw herself into his arms, beaming. Daddy, it smells so good. Did you make my favorite stew and steak? Leon confidently turned his gaze toward his eldest daughter, Noah. Instead, she looked away in clear disgust and muttered under her breath, Idiot. This was nothing like what he'd imagined. He glanced at the Silver Dragon Queen and caught her wearing a smug grin, clearly enjoying his embarrassment. Leon clenched his teeth and swore inwardly, Don't think this will make me give up. The Queen said to little Noah, This is your first proper meeting with your father. Go on, introduce yourself. Noah placed her hands on her hips, walked up proudly, and declared, "I'm the Silver Dragon Queen's eldest daughter, Noah Pamelkvi. I'm 1 year and 2 months old." Leon crouched down, forcing a friendly smile. "Hello, Noah. My name is Leon Kazmod. I'm your father." She merely replied with a dismissive, "Oh." Leon felt as if he'd been struck by lightning. Why did this kid dislike him so much? Learning emotional cold warfare from her mother at such a young age already. The atmosphere turned painfully awkward. Muin hurriedly tugged on Noah's sleeve and whispered, "Sis, say a bit more." "Dad's about to die from embarrassment." Noah shot her a stern look. "Adults are talking. Kids, don't interrupt." Then she planted her hands on her hips and looked straight at Leon, saying coldly, "You look so weak. Are you really qualified to be our father? My mom is the Silver Dragon Queen. How could she end up with a useless guy like you?" Leon sighed inwardly. If this kind of family dinner happened every day, he'd probably lose 30 years off his life. He couldn't help wondering if she was really his daughter. Ever since learning he had an eldest child, he'd hoped cooking for her would help mend their relationship. Yet sitting at the table now, something felt off. A family meal, meant to bring people closer, had turned into pure torture for him. Noah looked a lot like Muin, but her personality clearly took after the Silver Dragon Queen, brimming with hostility toward him as her father. Clinging to his last shred of hope, Leon asked, "Noah, do you like the steak Daddy made? If it's good, I can cook it for you every day." Noah merely curled her lip and sneered. "It's awful. Figures, a useless man." Watching his humiliation, the Silver Dragon Queen finally burst out laughing. Muin blinked curiously. "Mother, why do you look so happy all of a sudden?" The queen dabbed the corner of her mouth with a napkin and replied coyly, "Because Daddy's happy. Mommy's happy too." She then turned her gaze to Leon, wearing a triumphant grin, and said softly, "Right, Leon?" The whole family finally reunited. "The kids are watching. Why aren't you smiling?" Leon desperately wanted to strangle that smug dragon, but with his daughters present, he forced a grin. "Haha, I'm so happy I could die." Leon jumped up excitedly. "Then Daddy can eat with us every day, right?" Cold sweat immediately broke out on Leon's back. He desperately calculated how to shut this idea down. Otherwise, he'd become the Silver Dragon Queen's emotional punching bag at every meal. Just as he was scrambling for a solution, Noah suddenly spoke up and flatly rejected Muin's suggestion. Muin's face fell as she looked at her sister. "Why not?" Noah replied calmly, "Because I'm going to study in the Young Dragon Division of St. Sis Academy." Even the Silver Dragon Queen was taken aback. Normally, young dragons enrolled at 4 or 5 years old, yet Noah was barely over 1. She asked, puzzled, "Why are you in such a hurry to enroll?" Just as Leon sighed in relief. Thinking he'd escaped daily family dinners, the little dragon girl answered confidently, "Because I want to defeat more dragon slayers." Leon spat out the water he'd just taken a sip of. So she's planning to challenge her own father now? To prevent a future tragedy of loving father, filial child, Leon hurriedly warned her, "Dragon slayers are incredibly strong. Daddy's worried you might get hurt." Noah rolled her eyes at him. "Don't treat me like a child, idiot." Leon sighed helplessly. "But you literally are a child." Before he could continue, the Silver Dragon Queen interjected, "I actually think Noah's idea is pretty good. The earlier she trains, the sooner she'll be able to fight dragon slayers." She deliberately shot him a sideways glance and sneered. "And honestly, I don't think dragon slayers are all that impressive either. Who knows? Maybe you'd even spit out your water if you got startled. Right, Leon?" Leon let out a helpless sigh, knowing that pushing back any further would only make Noah dislike him even more. He chose not to argue, simply tightening his grip on his knife and fork, silently accepting the little dragon girl's opinion. He watched the Silver Dragon Queen chew her steak with a smug look on her face. Leon finally understood. In her eyes, he was nothing more than a childcare tool now, no longer the fearless dragon slayer she once admired. The Silver Dragon Queen smiled. "Since your father doesn't seem to have any objections, then it's settled. The St. Sis Academy entrance test is in a month. Your dad's a master of theory, so he can help you prepare." Leon cursed inwardly. "I'm an imperial dragon-slaying hero, for God's sake. Is it really okay to toy with me like this? Fine. Silver Dragon Queen, today's humiliation will be paid back double someday." After the dinner ended, the Silver Dragon Queen was just about to stand up and leave. Leon stopped her. Pointing at the dishes on the table, he said, "These plates haven't been cleared yet." She looked at him, puzzled. "Isn't that what the servants are for?" Leon patted her shoulder. Cleaning up together after cooking helps build a family atmosphere, especially with the girls still here. Don't you want to set an example of a harmonious family in front of them? Seeing the expectant look in Muin's eyes, the Silver Dragon Queen didn't argue further. "Fine, then we'll clean up together." Little Muin tried to help. But Noah pulled her away. This is adult business. Stay out of it. What comes next isn't something you should see. Soon, only Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen remained in the room, clear water flowing steadily from the faucet. She tied on an apron and carefully wiped each plate, then shot Leon an annoyed glance. So, when are you going to help? Didn't we agree to do this together? Leon smiled faintly, a sudden heat rising in his chest. In a low voice, he said, "Do you remember? 2 years ago, in the dungeon, I said something, and I wonder if you still recall it. Never be alone with a fully trained, top-tier dragon slayer." The Silver Dragon Queen fought desperately against the resonance triggered by the dragon sigil and asked coldly, "What are you trying to do?" Leon gave a faint, dangerous smile. "Back then, I was exhausted, trapped in your grasp by the dragon sigil. This time is different." The Silver Dragon Queen flew into a rage, her tail sweeping out with magic. Yet her attack was stopped by Leon with a single hand. Leon scoffed. "Who said I was running?" He then grabbed the tip of her tail. Her body shuddered instantly as a wave of numb sensation surged from her tail through her entire body. Her legs gave out, and she collapsed to the floor, gasping. "Why you bastard?" Leon slowly crouched down, meeting her gaze, gently lifting her chin as he took in the blush on her cheeks and the dazed look in her eyes. Leon said calmly, "The effect of the dragon sigil makes your tail extremely sensitive. That's something I picked up from Dragonkin texts." At that moment, the Silver Dragon Queen lay sprawled on the floor like a cat gripped by fate, weak and trembling as she begged softly, "Let go of my tail, please." Leon leaned closer and whispered, "Your dragonkind craves conquest and control. From the day I woke up, you trampled my dignity and treated me like a toy for your amusement. So why not switch roles for once? Have you ever imagined that even a noble dragon queen could one day be conquered?" The Silver Dragon Queen was just about to curse at him. Suddenly, a knock sounded outside the room. It turned out to be 2 maids coming to clean the dining hall. When no one answered, they pushed the door open directly. Seeing the spotless table, they praised in unison. Did Prince Leon clean all this himself? Her Majesty the Queen is truly blessed. They didn't notice Leon's awkward situation, but every word reached his ears. He sneered softly. "I never expected this, Silver Dragon Queen. So you've built me such a fine image. Looks like I'll have to return the favor." Panic flickered in the Silver Dragon Queen's eyes as she tried to call for help, but Leon grabbed her by the hair and forced her head up. "Think carefully," he said lightly. "If you scream, I'll open that door without hesitation and let them see what their lofty queen looks like right now. I don't care, do you?" She clenched her teeth and cursed in a low voice. "You bastard. You'll regret this." Leon replied with a cold laugh. "A dragon slayer never regrets his actions. Must be how I was raised." As the maid's footsteps faded away, Leon smiled in satisfaction. "Brace yourself for humanity's wrath, my dear queen." 2.5 days later, Noah and Muin stood by the bed, staring at the unconscious Leon with worried expressions. Little Muin tugged on her sister's sleeve and whispered, "Dad's been asleep for 2.5 days. Is he dead?" Noah looked indifferent and lightly kicked Leon's head with her foot. "Why not check? See, he's not completely dead yet." At that moment, Leon slowly woke up. Hearing Noah's blunt remark, his mouth twitched as he cursed inwardly. "Are you kidding me? Is this really how you treat your dad?" Seeing Leon awake, little Muin shouted excitedly, "Mom, look! Dad's awake!" Leon sat up groggily and muttered in confusion, "I remember using magic to reinforce my body, so why did I pass out?" The Silver Dragon Queen looked at him expressionlessly and said flatly, "Do you need me to help you remember?" As soon as she finished speaking, a phantom pain shot through Leon's head, and the memory came flooding back. After the human-dragon clash ended that day, the dragon sigil's effect faded, and the Silver Dragon Queen knocked him out with a single punch. He'd been unconscious for 2.5 days. While it hadn't left him critically weak, almost all his stamina had been spent on that act of revenge, leaving his mana completely drained. Watching the Silver Dragon Queen fix her hair, Leon felt a lingering chill. That dragon woman is ruthless. If I weren't a hero with a body this tough, a normal person would have died in her hands several times over. Standing by the bed, the Silver Dragon Queen's silver draconic eyes held less of their usual cold arrogance, replaced instead by a hint of gentleness. Leon couldn't help feeling a bit stunned. Looking closer, she really was beautiful. Despite being a dragon over 200 years old, she carried a gentle, almost soft elegance. Little Muin shouted anxiously, "Dad, why aren't you moving? Don't tell me you're about to die again." Off to the side, Noah glanced at Leon indifferently and sneered, "That idiot's just staring at Mother like a fool." The Silver Dragon Queen accidentally knocked a hair ornament off the table. Leon instinctively picked it up. Then, to her surprise, he placed it back in her hair. Didn't expect it, but this actually suits you. Sunlight fell across her face, drawing out a hint of shyness. Leon cleared his throat and teased. You seem unusually gentle today. The Silver Dragon Queen's pupils shifted slightly, as if calculating something, before her expression returned to cool indifference. You're quite attentive. What? Have you done this for other women too? Leon chuckled. When I was young, I used to brush my master's donkey all the time. Got pretty good at it. Muin asked in confusion. Dad, what's a donkey? Leon answered with mock seriousness. A donkey's kind of like a dragon. 2 ears, 1 tail, stubborn as can be. When it's unhappy, it just snorts and grumbles, pretty much exactly like your mom. The Silver Dragon Queen's face instantly went cold. She elbowed Leon hard in the stomach. If you don't know how to talk, then don't. Watching this, Noah muttered coldly. Serves you right. After that, the Silver Dragon Queen assigned tasks to the 2 little dragon girls. Today, you're going to learn how to write your names. Your father will teach you. Muin cheered happily. Yay, I get to play games with Dad again. Noah snorted. I can write on my own. I don't need him. Before she could finish, Muin dragged her away. Come on, sis. Let's go find some pretty colored pens in the study. Just as Leon was silently sighing in relief, the Silver Dragon Queen suddenly told him that her elder sister would be visiting today and warned him not to appear in front of her. Leon raised an eyebrow. What, Your Majesty? You won't even let your husband meet your family? The Silver Dragon Queen let out a cold laugh and leaned close to his ear. Listen carefully, Leon Kazmode. Your current identity is that of a male dragon who married into the Silver Dragon clan. Someone who fell into a coma for 2.5 years due to illness and only recently awakened. If you insist on appearing, you'd better play the role I've prepared. Otherwise, be ready to be tortured to death by me. Leon shrugged helplessly. Understood, Your Majesty. I wouldn't dare disobey. After she flicked her tail and left, Leon clenched his fist in secret. Stupid dragon. You think I'll just behave? Just wait. I'll make a fool of you in front of your sister. Still, Leon decided to do some surface-level preparations before the visit. Teaching 2 daughters how to read and write was no easy task. Leon handed the girls 2 sheets of paper with Muin and Noah written out in full. Try copying these a few times. You'll get the hang of it quickly. Muin looked delighted. Noah, however, muttered in disgust, figures. A useless, pathetic dad. His handwriting's ugly too. Not even close to Mom's. The comment stung Leon deeply, and he silently vowed to show that damn dragon woman exactly how he planned to get his revenge. Just as Leon was about to stand up, Muin asked reluctantly, Dad, where are you going? Leon said with a grin, I just remembered there's something I forgot to return to your mom. Don't worry, Dad will be back later to check on your studying. Noah sneered coldly. Is he an idiot or what? Muin frowned at her sister and asked in confusion, Sis, why do you always act like you hate Dad? You look pretty happy though. Noah spat back, I'm not. Then she turned her head away. Hurry up and practice your writing. As noon approached, the massive doors of the Silver Dragon's sanctuary slowly opened. Escorted by maids, the Silver Dragon Queen walked toward the entrance, where a woman Leon had never seen before approached. More precisely, a female dragon. She wore a red dress, her long hair flowing freely, and a crimson tail trailed behind her, even longer than the Silver Dragon Queen's. Dragon scholars often said the longer a dragon's tail, the older the dragon. If the Silver Dragon Queen was already over 200 years old, then her sister had to be even older. And yet, dragons were strange creatures, hundreds of years old, but still looking like humans in their 20s. The Silver Dragon Queen stepped forward and hugged her sister, Isha, who returned the embrace warmly. Little Silver, it's been years. You're looking much better these days, Isha said with a teasing smile. The Silver Dragon Queen's face flushed slightly. She immediately caught the deeper meaning behind her sister's words. I hear a harmonious married life does wonders for one's complexion. Little Silver, could it be that your secretive, low-profile husband dotes on you? Isha asked mischievously, clearly fishing for gossip. When she smiled, a small fong peeked out, making her look playful and charming, a sharp contrast to her identity as the Red Dragon Queen. The Silver Dragon Queen grew a bit awkward under the teasing. She adjusted her hair and shook her head. Sis, stop joking. He's not feeling well today, so he can't come out to meet you. Isha sighed, then continued. But honestly, Little Silver, why did you marry such an unknown dragon king? He won't even show his tail. The Silver Dragon Queen hesitated before explaining. He's low-key and introverted. He doesn't provoke other dragon kings, and he won't cause me trouble. Even she felt how insincere those words sounded. Low-key? Introverted? None of that fit Leon. When armed, he'd probably want to cut her down on the spot, and if there were other dragons nearby, he'd likely cut them down too, just for convenience. The fire dragon Queen Isha said, "Don't hide it from me. Unions between dragon kings are usually about Li and clans, rarely love. You married him and even had children. Your relationship must be pretty good, right?" She smiled knowingly. The silver dragon queen's face turned red as she looked away shyly. "Sis, don't talk nonsense. I just married him and had 2 kids with him. That doesn't mean anything. I'm not in love with him. Not now and not ever." Seeing her sister's stubborn denial, the red dragon queen sighed softly. "Sigh, my little sister really is a classic tsundere." Wanting to end the topic, the silver dragon queen took her sister's hand and suggested they go for a walk in the garden. Unbeknownst to them, Leon had already taken in every word. He had to admit, the 2 dragon sisters truly inherited exceptional genes, both possessing remarkable grace. But now it was Leon's turn to enact his revenge. It was the perfect chance to test just how far the dragon sigil's influence could reach. At this moment, the silver dragon queen and Isha were strolling through the garden. Isha sighed. The dragon territories have been a bit unstable lately, especially the Crimson Flame Dragon King, Constantine. He's been unusually active. The silver dragon queen's expression darkened. "You mean Constantine? He hasn't shown himself in years. I thought he died in battle," she said. Isha sighed. "Who knows? Maybe he's taking the chance to expand his territory." Just then, the silver dragon queen suddenly felt an inexplicable flutter. The dragon sigil on her chest reacted without warning. She instinctively lowered her head and drew her chest in, her brows knitting together as a faint blush surfaced on her face. "What's wrong?" Isha asked, noticing her sister's sudden silence. The silver dragon queen quickly covered her chest and forced a smile. "And nothing, sis. Go on." On the surface, she looked calm, but inwardly, she was cursing Leon furiously. That bastard, using the dragon sigil at a time like this. She knew the rule well. Once either party began to yearn for the other, the dragon sigil would resonate. And that yearning wasn't just emotional longing. It also carried certain intimate desires. He was nothing but trouble. She never expected the resonance to be this intense. So intense that she couldn't even focus on a single word Isha was saying. Her tail curled unconsciously, her legs pressing together as she bit her lip and swallowed repeatedly, cursing inwardly. "Damn you, Leon. You really have no bottom line when it comes to disgusting me." Seeing her sister's face flushed even redder than her tail, Isha couldn't help but worry. "Little Silver, why is your face so red? Are you feeling unwell?" Flippant as she usually was, Isha still showed genuine concern when it came to her sister's health. The silver dragon queen forced a smile. "I'm fine, sis. I just need to take care of something. About 20 minutes. Go ahead. Want me to come with you?" Isha offered kindly, but the silver dragon queen answered without hesitation, "No." Holding back the heat and resonance coursing through her body, she rushed toward the nursery, grinding her teeth inwardly. "You're dead, Leon." Watching her sister hurry away, Isha pursed her lips and chuckled. "Ah, dragon sigils. Young people sure know how to spice things up these days." Meanwhile, Leon was lounging comfortably in a chair, basking in the sunlight and smugly thinking, "Dragon woman, let's see how long you can hold out." As it turned out, fate answered instantly. The balcony door slammed open with a bang as the silver dragon queen charged in. She grabbed Leon by the collar and roared, "Leon, you bastard. You triggered the dragon sigil on purpose at a time like this, just to make me embarrass myself in front of my sister, didn't you?" Leon put on an aggrieved expression and shot back. "Why are you yelling at me? Is it wrong for me to miss you?" The moment the words left his mouth, disbelief filled the silver dragon queen's draconic eyes. A blush spread rapidly across her face, creeping all the way to her ears. She tried to steady herself and fire back a sarcastic remark, but the dragon sigil's reaction only intensified. Flustered, she retreated step by step. Watching her shy, awkward reaction, Leon chuckled inwardly. His innocent act really had her cornered. Who would have thought his master's corny pickup lines would actually work? Noticing Leon staring at her, she turned her head sharply and snapped, "Have you no shame?" A defeated captive saying such trash. Yet, deep down, she felt an unexpected warmth, and even hesitated to truly punish him. She froze, realizing something was off. She had come to deal with Leon. So how did she end up being thrown off by a few words? "I miss you. That's totally unfair." Suppressing her embarrassment, she threatened, "You got lucky this time. Do that again, and I won't let you off." With that, she slammed the door shut, her footsteps fading away. Only after confirming she was gone did Leon finally relax, laughing to himself. Just as I thought. Once the dragon sigil kicks in, her rationality drops. A few sweet words are all it takes. But just as Leon sat down again, the dragon's sigil on his chest suddenly stirred, his heartbeat quickening uncontrollably. He quickly smacked his own head and muttered, "Leon Casmode, snap out of it. Stop thinking nonsense. You're humanity's strongest dragon slayer. Your relationship with dragons can only end in mutual destruction." At the same time, Leon remembered that his two daughters were still waiting for him. He forced himself to calm down and head back, unaware that while he'd enjoyed himself today, far harsher retaliation from that dragon woman awaited him. As night fell, the Red Dragon Queen Isha prepared to depart after visiting her sister. She teased, "What a shame, I didn't get to meet my brother-in-law. I'm really curious what kind of dragon could make my Tsundra little sister carve a dragon sigil herself." The Silver Dragon Queen panicked inwardly, afraid her sister might discover Leon's existence. She waved dismissively, "Sis, it's almost dawn. You should head back." Seeing her reaction, the Red Dragon Queen didn't press further, only smiling. "Then next time, I'll definitely meet my brother-in-law." With that, she left the Silver Dragon Sanctuary with her Crimson Dragon guards. Watching her sister's figure disappear, the Silver Dragon Queen's expression instantly collapsed. Gritting her teeth, she cursed inwardly, "That bastard actually dared to make me lose face in front of my sister. Tonight, I'll make him beg for life and fail to die. He'll experience true Silver Dragon vengeance." At that very moment, Leon sneezed. He frowned in confusion. "Why do I feel like someone's cursing me?" Staring at the complete collection of young dragon tales, his head spun. Why was every story about dragons defeating humans? Thankfully, Leon managed to lull both little dragon girls to sleep. Being a dad in this absurd household was exhausting. What kind of man was meant to raise kids, anyway? Even so, Leon carefully tucked the blankets around them. They were his own children. After all, he couldn't let them catch a cold. Leon then quietly slipped out of the nursery. A pale, delicate hand suddenly blocked Leon's path, and his heart sank. This dragon woman's temper changes faster than summer weather. The Queen of the Silver Dragons stared at him coldly. "Where do you think you're going?" Leon hurriedly tried to change the subject, forcing a dry smile. "The kid just fell asleep. Let's keep our voices down." Her pupils narrowed into sharp vertical slits. "Put the children aside. Aren't there still things we haven't finished tonight? Please, Your Majesty," Leon cried out, but before he could finish, she grabbed him by the collar and dragged him straight into her room. Once inside, she casually removed the silver crown from her head and set it aside. She pulled over a chair and sat before Leon, crossing her long legs and leaning back as she looked down on him. Her heel wobbled, then fell to the floor with a soft thud. "Bring me a basin of hot water." Leon reluctantly went to the bathroom, filled a basin, and carried it back, unable to guess her intentions. She glanced at him coolly. "I've been on my feet all day. Wash them." Leon froze, anger surging. "Queen of the Silver Dragons, do you seriously think humiliating me like this makes sense?" She snorted. "You dare argue with a woman? I'm not you. I'm a dragon queen." Her tone sharpened. "Less talk. Do as you're told. This is your punishment. If you don't like this reward, you can lie on the bed instead. I have other ways to deal with you." Swallowing his pride, Leon removed her socks. A legendary dragon slayer reduced to washing a dragon's feet. The thought of how many humans those feet might have trampled filled him with fury. Sensing his stare, she frowned inwardly. Why is he staring at my feet? Does he have some kind of weird fixation? The thought unsettled her, twisting her original intent. Leon suddenly pressed her foot into the basin, scalding hot water he had deliberately prepared. She reacted instantly, activating fire resistance magic. Enraged, she lashed out, her kick landing squarely on Leon's face. He crashed to the floor, nearly losing consciousness. Realizing the truth, the Queen of the Silver Dragons stepped on his chest, glaring down at him. "You're really asking for death, using such petty tricks against me." Leon sneered through the pain. "You're the one who ordered a dragon slayer to wash your feet." Even as she fumed, a flush crept across her face. She increased the pressure. "Looks like you still haven't learned. Human hero, have you ever imagined being crushed beneath a dragon's foot? Stop it, you damn dragon." Leon grabbed her ankle. Dragonkind far stronger and more flexible than humans, the pressure almost unbearable. Forcing out his remaining magic, he broke free and mocked. "Pork, beef, lamb. I've tried them all. Might as well try dragon too." She recoiled, alarmed. "What are you doing?" Leon laughed wildly. "O prato do dia é garra de dragão crua. Ponto." Her furious scream echoed through the sanctuary. Leon Casmode. "I will kill you." Early the next morning, the two little dragon girls had just woken up. They immediately noticed the Silver Dragon Queen limping, her foot wrapped in bandages. Muin asked in confusion, "Mother, why are you walking like that?" She then turned to Leon and noticed the bruises covering his face. "Dad, why is your face all bruised too?" Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen answered in unison, "It's nothing." Their unspoken coordination only left Muin even more puzzled. But soon, as if a realization struck her, she excitedly waved her hands. "You must have been playing some fun game without me. Mom and Dad, Muin wants to join too." Noah shot her a cold glance and scoffed. "Idiot, sister. That's grown-ups' business. Kids shouldn't meddle." Leon also sensed that something was off about the Silver Dragon Queen today. She had actually suggested that Leon accompany her for a walk. Given her normally proud demeanor, such a request was unthinkable. Was this dragon woman plotting something again? Seeing the scene, the maids laughed. "Look, Her Majesty and the Prince Consort are on a date. How affectionate, though don't they seem a bit awkward together?" Watching her walk ahead, Leon thought to himself, how did things turn out like this? And today, Lost Whisper was clearly acting strange. She was never this proactive. What was she up to? The two little dragon girls hid behind a tree, watching. Muin whispered urgently, "Dad is so dumb. He doesn't even know how to hold hands. Muin should help them. You're supposed to hold hands when you go for a walk." She then changed her mind. "I'll go play with sister instead," and skipped away. Leon remarked, "You seem unusually gentle today." "I'm not used to it." The Silver Dragon Queen replied shyly, "Looks like I've already tamed you. Now that I'm treating you properly, you're the one who can adapt." Lost Whisper always maintained a dignified, queenly image in public. Yet even something as simple as holding hands could shake her. Perhaps her stern image as a mother came from not knowing how to grow close to her children. Leon continued, "Come to think of it, Muin and Noah always call you mother. Usually, Dad and Mom go together. Muin calls me Dad but still calls you mother. Doesn't that make them feel more distant from you? Why not have them call you Mom instead? I bet they feel closer to you right away." The Silver Dragon Queen suddenly looked enlightened. "Got it. I'll try next time." As she spoke, she pulled Leon along. She then suddenly asked whether Leon missed home. Though she couldn't let him return, there was something that might ease his homesickness. They arrived at a warehouse behind the Silver Dragon Sanctuary. The Silver Dragon Queen took out a ring of keys. She told Leon that what he was looking for was inside. Seeing the sight before him, Leon exclaimed, "Is this the dragon's treasure vault?" He examined an exquisitely crafted bracelet, his eyes gleaming. Back in Empire, this would sell for hundreds of thousands of gold coins. The Silver Dragon Queen explained that it was a gift from her grandmother at her coming-of-age ceremony. Besides spoils of war, the vault also held items of personal significance. Hearing this, Leon grew curious. "Aside from your sister, I've never heard you mention any other family." It turned out that the Silver Dragon Queen had never met her parents. She and her sister were raised by their grandmother. Leon sensed that her situation mirrored his own. He had grown up in an orphanage, never having seen his parents, and was raised by his master and mistress instead. He then asked the Silver Dragon Queen what she had brought him here to see. She opened a treasure chest, revealing something meant to make one forget their troubles, at least for a while. Leon's eyes widened as he looked inside. It was his long-lost companion of 2 years ago, the black gold battle armor. Forged by the Empire's finest craftsmen, the armor had accompanied him through countless campaigns, shielding him from lethal blows. Leon felt as if he were dreaming. "You're really giving this to me?" The Silver Dragon Queen flashed a mischievous smile. That's right. Try it on." But the moment Leon reached for the helmet, the armor let out a deep, resonant hum. She had engraved enchanted dragon runes onto it. It seemed even his old partner had been corrupted. Leon looked up at her, baring his teeth in frustration. The Silver Dragon Queen chuckled softly. "Leon, you've finally fallen for it." A massive dragon rune flared beneath his feet. Leon immediately demanded to know what she had done. Wearing a triumphant smile, she replied, "I added attribute-enhancing dragon runes to your armor. The moment you touched it, they activated." Leon felt the dragon mark on his chest surge violently. He cursed his own carelessness and that sly dragon woman. She only laughed lightly. 2 runes, double the experience. Slowly crouching down, she lifted Leon's chin with her hand. "My dear dragon slayer, can you handle it?" With a sharp push, she sent Leon flat onto his back. His body was completely immobilized. The Silver Dragon Queen smiled. "So, not bad acting, right?" Leon roared in anger. "So everything you told me today was a lie? Saying you never met your parents, that you'd let Muin and Noah call you Mom, that walk. Becoming a dragon knight wasn't new to him, and he could endure that. What he couldn't endure was being deceived. Those things were all true," she said calmly. "But they don't stop me from doing this now." "Leon, wasn't it you who said this before?" That I enjoy conquest. That's right. It's finally over. She quietly admired Leon's stubborn, resolute, and handsome face. Leon couldn't help but ask what she intended to do. You're still just as good-looking as you were 2 years ago, she murmured. The scars have faded, but you've gained a weary, seasoned air like a mature man. She pinched his chin lightly, and even that simple touch stirred something deep within him. Leon clung to the last shred of his reason and turned his head away. TCH, trying to humiliate me again? I won't fall for your tricks this time. The Silver Dragon Queen gave a soft snort. You've gotten smarter. Yet upon hearing that, Leon instinctively turned back to look at her. She smiled playfully. Your body isn't what it used to be. What? Leon froze. Not what it used to be. The next morning, Leon was awakened by knocking. He got dressed and staggered toward the door. Expecting Muin, he instead found the Silver Dragon Queen and Noah standing there, the stubborn pair of mother and daughter. Seeing the dark circles under Leon's eyes, the Silver Dragon Queen greeted him politely. Morning. Looks like you didn't sleep well. Leon clenched his teeth in anger. And whose fault do you think that was? You were the one who said it. The Silver Dragon Queen looked utterly pleased. Did I? I don't remember. Standing behind them, little Noah watched the scene and couldn't help thinking, here we go again. Leon turned to the Silver Dragon Queen. What is it this time? Didn't Noah say she's going to enroll in the hatchling division of St. Scythe's Academy? Their entrance exams are strict. Starting today, you'll tutor Noah properly in dragon lore. As she spoke, she leaned in close to Leon's ear and whispered, given your current physical condition, this is about the only way you can be useful for now. Leon's anger flared instantly. Damn it. Yesterday was just an off day. He would make sure Noah passed the exam. At the same time, he intended to use this opportunity to negotiate something of equal value in return. After a brief pause, the Silver Dragon Queen relented. Fine, I'll agree, but your request can't be excessive. Deal. A promise is a promise. The Silver Dragon Queen smiled in satisfaction and waved as she left. Study hard, you too. Then she added one last jab. Oh, and dear, don't overwork yourself. Leon cursed inwardly. Does this dragon woman ever stop? Once she was gone, Noah looked puzzled. Why were you arguing with Mom? Leon replied casually. Just our usual way of communicating. Leon suddenly froze. Wait, what did you just call her? Mom. To his surprise, Noah really had changed how she addressed her. Leon's eyes lit up. He crouched down excitedly in front of her. Did she ask you to call her that? Which do you like more, the old way or this one? Noah answered seriously. This one. Leon felt smug. See? I knew it. The Dragon Queen might be devious, but she certainly got things done. Watching Leon suddenly beam for no clear reason, Noah felt a faint warmth, something like paternal affection. Then she took off in a huffy little trot. So, when do we start studying? Leon hurried after her. Slow down, Noah. Wait for me. Late at night, the light in the children's study was still on. The Silver Dragon Queen stepped inside and glanced at Leon. Still awake this late? Leon kept his composure. Noah learns fast. Basic lessons aren't enough for her anymore. I'm organizing key topics and combining them with test questions. He looked up at her, more serious than before. Thanks for giving birth to such a smart daughter. That's why I'm confident I can get her through the entrance exam within a month. The Silver Dragon Queen chuckled proudly. Of course. Noah takes after me. Leon smiled faintly. Not necessarily. I graduated from the Dragon Slayer Academy with top scores in both written exams and combat training. Every year, I practically swept all the highest scholarships. He raised an eyebrow at her. What about you, Your Majesty? Any championships? The Silver Dragon Queen fell silent. She hadn't expected Leon to be an academic ace. She'd always assumed he was just a brute who fought well. Still, she would never praise him outright. She snorted. So impressive. Then how did you end up as my captive? That hit Leon right in the gut. One wrong step, and now a fallen hero bullied by dragons. She covered her mouth and laughed. Sounds like you got ridden by a dragon. Her eyes suddenly landed on the yellow chili pepper on the desk. She frowned slightly. What's that for? From the kitchen, Leon replied casually. Keeps me awake. Wait, that's a dragon-bred chili. A human like you. Before she could finish, Leon bit into it and chewed. His face instantly flushed red. The burning heat felt like a chunk of blazing charcoal stuffed into his mouth. So spicy. Water, where's the water? He searched the room, but found none. Suddenly, the Silver Dragon Queen cupped his face with both hands and forced him to look at her. That only made his face burn hotter. She spoke awkwardly, almost shy. My hands are cooler. It should help. Her fingertips were cool and soothing against his skin. Not icy or sharp, just a gentle, calming chill. After a moment, Leon thanked her softly. The burning had faded. She withdrew her hands. The air grew strangely tense. Turning away, she muttered, "Get some rest. And stop eating chili. If your mouth gets wrecked, you'll be teaching Noah in sign language." Watching her leave, a strange thought crossed Leon's mind. He wished she'd touched his face a little longer. Just thinking it felt wrong. No, get a grip. She's the dragon who tricked me, drained me dry, and then said my stamina was lacking. After muttering to himself, Leon returned to the desk to look for ways to recover faster. He flipped through a medical tome. Dragonclaw fruit, blood circulation. Not it. Julian herb, digestion. Nope. Then one end caught his eye, dragon power tonic. His eyes lit up. This is it. The next day, Leon finished grading Noah's test. Out of 100, he teased, "What do you think you got?" 50, Noah answered. Leon smiled. 62, higher than you expected. Noah clenched her fists in frustration. Clearly, she held herself to high standards. At an age meant for carefree play like Muin, she had chosen study instead. Leon gently ruffled her hair. Getting 62 on your first try is already impressive. Hatchlings your age don't even get exposed to questions this hard. It's supposed to be difficult. Noah whispered softly, "Thank you. All right, let's go over the mistakes next." Leon suddenly broke into a coughing fit. "Sorry, Noah. Give me a second." As expected, too much chili the night before had wrecked his throat. Noah remembered what her mother had said that morning. "Your father stayed up all night making a study plan for you. That jerk looks unreliable, but he's actually a top student. He ate dragon-grade yellow chili to stay awake. Of course his throat's a mess." Noah reached into her pocket and pulled out a small box. "This is for you. Throat lozenges." Leon froze. "For me? Mom told me to give it to you." "Not me." Leon smiled. "Then thank your mom for me." She was just like the silver dragon queen. Cold on the surface, bad at expressing care. Leon popped the lozenge into his mouth and continued tutoring Noah as his throat eased. The distance between father and daughter quietly shrank again. In truth, after discovering dragon power tonic in the medical texts, Leon had already ordered 2 dragon maids to bring the ingredients to the kitchen. He even had them fetch extra, unrelated herbs so no one would guess his real intent. The materials weren't rare, and the process wasn't complicated, but the book stated that even skilled dragon alchemists rarely succeeded. That didn't deter Leon that he crushed and mixed the ingredients, then added them to the pot in precise order and ratios. Hours passed. Failure. Just as he feared, everything went wrong at the final purification stage. High-temperature separation was tricky. Too hot, and the compound destabilized. Too cold, and impurities remained. Manual stirring wasn't enough, and there were no proper tools. His master's words echoed. If one path fails, find another. As Leon pondered alternatives, thunder suddenly roared outside, lightning flashing across the sky. Rain was coming. He moved to shut the window, but his thoughts stuck on one word: lightning. Right, electricity. His alchemy instructor once said electroseparation sometimes worked better than standard methods. Maybe he could refine it using lightning magic, something the book never mentioned. And lightning was his specialty. His mana hadn't fully recovered, but it was more than enough for delicate control. 30 minutes later, Dragon Power Tonic was complete. Leon felt smug. Dragon medicine wasn't that hard after all. At some point, Muin wandered into the kitchen, eyes sparkling. "Dad, what are you making? Is that candy?" Leon jumped, caught off guard. He quickly patted her head. "No, that's not candy. It's medicine I made for your mom." Muin froze. "Is mom sick?" "No, she's just been working too hard. This is to help her recover." Muin nodded seriously. "Then Dad, make sure you take good care of mom." "Of course. That's what a dad should do." Leon said that to Muin, but deep down, he was already plotting. Once he recovered, he'd make that dragon woman pay. Before long, heavy rain poured down outside the castle. Lying on the bed, Leon fell into deep thought. Dragon Power Tonic was meant for dragons. He wasn't sure what kind of side effects it might have on a human body. Maybe storing it for now was safer. Just as he hesitated, there was a knock at the door. Leon hurriedly stuffed the Dragon Power Tonic under his pillow and called out, "Your Majesty, what brings you here?" The Silver Dragon Queen chuckled softly and went straight to the point. "I heard from Muin that you made a medicine that looks like chocolate candy to help condition my body." Leon felt speechless. His little padded jacket had leaked the secret already. Smiling, the Silver Dragon Queen stepped closer. "Relax. I'm not here to interrogate you. I'm just surprised you managed to refine medicine under such crude conditions. What exactly did you make? May I take a look?" she asked, extending her hand. Leon hesitated, then pulled out the Dragon Power Tonic from beneath the pillow. Even if he refused, she'd just take it by force. The Silver Dragon Queen examined it carefully. Impressive. producing such a flawless dragon power tonic in this environment. She smiled teasingly. So this is what they call brains and brawn. Leon froze for a second. She hadn't mocked him. He wasn't used to that. Then her tone shifted. You may keep it. However, don't take it yet. She tossed the tonic back to him. Leon frowned in confusion and asked why. Dragon Power Tonic was a dragon supplement. For humans, its effects were far too intense. Her voice turned serious. I'm warning you out of concern. A human body can't withstand that kind of power. Holding the tonic, Leon looked at her firmly. So what if it's dragon power? I've defeated countless dragon kings. He smirked. You really think one pill could kill me? Don't underestimate me, Silver Dragon Queen. As he spoke, Leon placed the Draconic Vigor Elixir into his mouth and swallowed it whole. Courage is humanity's greatest anthem. He swallowed it too fast for the Silver Dragon Queen to stop him. The very next second, a burning sensation erupted in his stomach. Leon clutched his abdomen and dropped to one knee as the heat surged through his entire body. The Silver Dragon Queen panicked. You idiot. I'm not even proficient with healing magic yet. Seeing him grit his teeth in silence, she placed a hand on his waist. A warm stream of magical energy flowed from her palm into his body, trying to break down the elixir's effects. Leon suddenly grabbed her wrist. The Silver Dragon Queen stiffened and told him not to move. Watch closely, Silver Dragon Queen. This is the courage and resolve of humanity. Blue lightning burst from the hand pressed against Leon's chest. The Silver Dragon Queen stared in shock. Using lightning magic on his own body? What is he doing? Moments later, the lightning gradually faded. Leon's body went limp, nearly collapsing. She rushed to support him. Carefully, she laid him flat on the bed. He's insane, she muttered, about to call for a court physician. But the moment she turned around, Leon's hand shot out and grabbed her dragon tail. She turned back to see him, smiling dazedly, eyes unfocused, cheeks flushed. Just as she was about to ask what was wrong, Leon hugged her tail and rubbed against it. Wife, where are you going? The Silver Dragon Queen blushed. Who's your wife? Let go. She tried to push his face away, but couldn't. No, I won't let my wife leave. Turning her head aside, she frowned. Draconic Vigor Elixir should only enhance the body. This level of delirium shouldn't happen. Did the lightning magic alter the effect? Seeing that the fool wasn't in immediate danger, she allowed him to keep holding her tail. Wife. Unable to resist, she finally answered, All right, I'm here. What is it? The blush on her face deepened. Wife, I want a second child. Her mind nearly froze. You can't even handle the two you already have, and you want another? Dream on. Just one more, please. Leon clung to her tail, whining. Covering her face, she decided it was safer to humor him. Fine, second, third, fourth, whatever. Then you'll come back to my hometown with me. I will once things are settled. Yay. After Leon finally released her tail, she found his clingy behavior even more annoying than usual. Leon puckered his lips and leaned toward her. You're the best, wife. She quickly pushed his face away. Don't take advantage. When is this drug going to wear off? Honestly, mid-sentence, she punched him in the face. Ow! He couldn't help crying out, seeing him clutch his chest again in pain. The Silver Dragon Queen grew worried once more. Then she noticed the dragon mark on her chest glowing faintly. Wife's tail smells so nice. I love it. She knew this couldn't continue. Pushing him away, she sighed helplessly. My tail drags on the ground all day. Aren't you grossed out putting it in your mouth? Leon raised a finger and gently pressed it against her lips. Gazing at her deeply, he said, My queen, you're beautiful tonight. She wanted to respond, but no words came out. What's wrong? This man's demeanor is completely different from before. The next morning, Leon woke from extreme exhaustion. To his surprise, the Silver Dragon Queen was lying beside his pillow, staring at him with a haughty look. You're awake. Memories from the previous night flashed through Leon's mind. The Silver Dragon Queen gave a mischievous smile. Remember now? Last night, you were the one begging me the whole time. Leon admitted that he had gone a bit too far. By now, you should know very well just how my body's doing, right? The Silver Dragon Queen narrowed her eyes and slowly stepped closer. Leon felt confused, unsure of what she intended to do. She suddenly grabbed his chin, forcing him to look up at her. Her silver dragon eyes were alluring and dangerous. I hope you can keep this condition from now on. Then she brought up their earlier wager about changing how she was addressed. Her cheeks flushed slightly. You won. Have you decided what you want to ask for? That easy. Leon scratched his head, saying he had already thought it through. He asked her to send someone to the Empire to check on his master's wife. The Silver Dragon Queen tapped her chin thoughtfully. Infiltration missions aren't exactly our specialty, but if it's just visiting someone, that shouldn't be a problem. Leon's eyes lit up. Really? Then I'll leave it to you. Not long after, Leon went to the Silver Dragon Temple's garden to look after little Muin. Noticing that his complexion seemed off, Muin asked worriedly, "Daddy, are you sick?" Leon looked at her blankly. "No, why would you think that?" Muin placed her hands on her hips smugly. "Gee, Mommy told me. Daddy took the medicine himself that day. Men can't say they're sick." The words left Leon utterly embarrassed. That woman even told a child something like this? Did he have no dignity left? "Daddy, are you still not better? Was the medicine not strong enough? Or did you take too little?" When Muin noticed blood at the corner of Leon's mouth, she hugged him tightly in panic. "Muin can't live without Daddy. Daddy, don't die." Leon quickly smiled and patted her head, assuring her that he was really fine. He couldn't help but think that Muin truly was the Silver Dragon Queen's daughter, sharp-tongued and merciless, just like her mother. Leon immediately changed the subject. "How about Daddy makes you a new toy today?" Muin's eyes sparkled. "Yay, Muin loves toys." Before long, Leon crafted a delicate little puzzle cube. He happily handed it to Muin and let her twist it however she liked. Leon recalled learning basic mechanical linkage principles in alchemy mechanics class back in school. Who knew they'd come in handy while babysitting? Was he naturally good at this? Suddenly, Leon sensed the gaze of a dragon upon him. He initially thought the Silver Dragon Queen was watching, but when he turned around, she was nowhere to be seen. Muin asked what was wrong. Leon said it was nothing, recalling that direction was where Noah usually trained. Noah probably wouldn't come over on her own, so he decided to make her a puzzle cube as well. That night, when Noah returned to her room to sleep, she saw Muin already fast asleep. Beside her was the cube Leon had made, with a note underneath. "A toy for Noah. Try restoring it." Noah muttered proudly, "Idiot. I'm not interested in kids' toys at all." Still, she twisted it a couple of times, feeling the precise mechanical clicks beneath her fingertips. Noah's cheeks flushed slightly as she whispered, "But thank you, Dad." The next day, Muin noticed that her sister had been acting strangely, often hiding things in a box under the bed when she wasn't around. Taking advantage of Noah's absence, she sneaked over to investigate. Detective Muin is on the case. Inside the box were a puzzle cube, fragments that had fallen from the black gold chariot, and a note with her sister's name written on it. "They're all things related to Dad, aren't they?" Muin grinned smugly. "I get it now. There's only one truth. Big Sister actually feels." Unbeknownst to her, Noah was already standing right behind her. In the next instant, Noah covered Muin's mouth, wrapped her up tightly with bandages, grabbed the treasure box, and declared proudly, "No peeking." As it turned out, the Silver Dragon Queen wanted to maintain the image of a harmonious and loving dragon family. She decided to take the whole family on a trip to Sky City, since her daughters were about to start school. St. Side's Academy was a noble institution among dragons, with extremely strict admission standards. The Academy believed that whether born from asexual eggs or from traditional couples, only children raised in loving families that upheld dragon values could become qualified students, and only such children would be admitted. After the Silver Dragon Queen brought the family to Sky City, Leon landed and opened his arms, preparing to lift Muin down. Muin asked eagerly, "Daddy, why didn't you turn into a dragon just now?" Muin wants to see Daddy as a dragon. Leon could only smile awkwardly, feeling like he wanted to disappear on the spot. "Sweetie, your dad's great at slaying dragons, but turning into one, let's skip that." Seeing no movement from him, Noah crossed her arms and said casually, "Don't tell me you can't transform?" Seeing Leon panic, the Silver Dragon Queen smiled calmly. She stepped in to explain, "Your dad hasn't fully recovered yet, so he can't take dragon form for now. Once he's better, he'll show you." "Yay, then Daddy has to get better soon." "I'll do my best," Leon replied, fully aware that it would never happen. Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen each held one daughter's hand as they walked toward the entrance of Sky City. Passing through the gates, they officially entered the Dragon Metropolis. Dragons with tails filled the streets, a sight Muin and Noah were seeing for the first time. Leon, on the other hand, swallowed nervously, his legs trembling slightly. The Silver Dragon Queen glanced at him, thinking that this was probably his first time seeing so many dragons since waking up. She let out a soft snort and asked teasingly, "What? Scared?" "Scared?" Leon scoffed inwardly. This was excitement, couldn't she tell? He pointed at the dragons ahead. "Look at all that merit walking around. Take them back, and we'd be rich." The Silver Dragon Queen covered her face. "That man's occupational habits is acting up again. Figures my worry was unnecessary." Soon, the family of four arrived at a photography studio. The photographer, a middle-aged female dragon wearing glasses, greeted them. "Welcome, Your Majesty the Silver Dragon Queen. It's an honor to serve your family." The staff led them to try on outfits, and the two little dragon girls were thrilled by the artistic photos displayed everywhere. Leon leaned in and whispered, "Aren't you the Silver Dragon Queen? Why do you have to come take photos in person?" He then learned that Dragon Kings only ruled their own clans, while Sky City belonged to none. Leon seized the chance to tease her. "Then your queenly status seems a bit low." The next second, his shoe was stomped on by her golden high heel. The Silver Dragon Queen walked ahead proudly. "Still higher than yours." Selena's photography skills were top tier among the dragon folk, and she exchanged a few polite remarks with the Silver Dragon Queen. After learning that Leon disliked showing his tail, the Silver Dragon Queen had her choose a tailless suit for Leon. In fact, before coming to Sky City, the Queen tried to have Leon wear a dragon tail accessory, but Leon firmly refused. It concerned the pride of a dragon's lair. As a veteran photographer, Selena showed no surprise, since many dragon folk also disliked exposing their tails. After some time passed, both daughters changed into beautiful formal dresses. When Leon stepped out wearing a white suit, Muin exclaimed excitedly, "Wow, Dad looks so handsome." Selena smiled and added, "The prince must have been very popular before, right?" However, the last time Leon wore a formal suit was at his school graduation ceremony, when underclassmen lined up with gifts and even invited him out. Leon seriously turned them down. "I still have to go back and shoe my master's donkey. Next time for sure." After hearing that, the master was left speechless, wondering if Leon had been kicked in the head by a donkey. Pulling his thoughts back, Leon looked at his usually quiet eldest daughter. "Noah, what do you think?" She shyly averted her gaze and stammered, "It's pretty handsome." Leon stepped forward and patted their heads. "Your dresses are very cute too." Then, the Silver Dragon Queen reappeared in a black off-shoulder gown that looked especially charming on her. Leon stared without blinking. Noticing his love-struck look, Leon scratched his head awkwardly and praised how well the outfit suited her. The Silver Dragon Queen sighed softly. "I think you'd look better with a tail." Leon shot back immediately. "In your dreams. I'm never putting one on." At that moment, Muin waved them over for the family photo. Selena said politely, "We're ready." "Your Majesty, Your Highness, please stand a bit closer." But Leon and the Queen hesitated and still kept a small distance between them. Under Selena's guidance, one intimate family photo after another was taken. Muin was clearly having the time of her life. Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen put on an affectionate act and even made a heart gesture beside her tail. There were also photos of them gazing into each other's eyes. Selena commented that they really looked like a married couple, and the photos would take 6 hours to develop. With time to spare, they decided to stroll around Sky City. The two little dragon girls ran ahead hand in hand, while Leon and the Queen followed, not far behind. The daughters stopped in front of a balloon shooting stall, and Muin's eyes sparkled as she stared at the adorable teddy bears. Noah picked up the toy gun and fired several shots at the balloons, but didn't hit a single one. Leon looked mildly surprised. They even have shooting games like this here. Judging by Noah's puffed cheeks, the result clearly wasn't ideal. The Silver Dragon Queen explained to Noah, "The bullets in these toy guns are formed from magical energy, and they require delicate control. It's indeed a bit difficult for you." At that moment, the stall owner spoke up. "Would you like to give it a try? Your daughters look like they really want them." In truth, he let children try first on purpose to lure parents into spending money. Leon lowered his head and looked at his two daughters. "Do you want that pair of teddy bears?" Although they answered no, their expressions clearly said otherwise. So Leon paid the stall owner for 10 shots, with the Silver Dragon Queen covering the cost. It had been a long time since Leon last held a gun. The last time was back at the Dragon's Lair Academy. The first shot went off with a bang, but the bullet veered off course. The stall owner snickered behind them, having tampered with the toy gun so that no one could hit the target easily. In the next second, his eyes nearly popped out. Every one of the remaining 9 shots hit the mark. The first shot had merely been to test the aim. The outcome afterward was exactly what Leon expected. Noah and Muin's eyes lit up. "Dad is amazing." Even the Silver Dragon Queen offered rare praise. "Not bad." The stall owner handed Leon 2 small teddy bears, inwardly hoping they would leave soon. Leon passed the teddy bears to his daughters, who happily thanked their father. The Silver Dragon Queen hadn't expected that although Leon usually seemed carefree, whenever he became serious, he carried a distinct charm. Suddenly, she noticed Leon staring at her. In truth, Leon had simply realized that the dragon woman's hands were empty. Leon went back to the stall owner and fired another 10 shots, finally venting his frustration on the crooked merchant. A dragon mother passing by with her daughter was drawn over as well. "Mom, I want that too." The Silver Dragon Queen stood there, momentarily stunned, already holding a large teddy bear in her arms. She then remarked with slight displeasure, If it were up to me, I'd just tell them not to waste time on such childish games. After a brief pause, she added, but as long as they're having fun, that's what matters. What? You don't like it? Since we're already here, I can't let you leave empty-handed. Resting her chin lightly on the bear's head, she murmured, creatures like bears aren't even worth eating to survive, but when turned into plush toys, they're actually quite cute. Then she walked ahead shyly and said, after dinner tonight, remember to come find me. Back at Dragon Castle, the two daughters opened the family photos taken earlier. Muin happily swayed her tail. Mom and Dad looked perfect together. Leon opened a separate package and discovered a card attached to the photo. The Silver Dragon Queen and Leon read the message together. May silver radiance forever shine in the eyes of those you love. The next second, both of them blushed and protested in unison. Something's definitely wrong. Have this photo edited. Exactly, you take care of it. Late at night, Leon remembered that he still had to go see the Silver Dragon Queen. When Leon was about to knock, he realized the door wasn't locked. The living room was empty as well. He had arrived early. She was still in the bathroom, taking a shower. Leon tried to calm himself down. Just then, the Silver Dragon Queen walked out of the bathroom, wearing a light purple slip dress, her damp silver hair draped over her shoulders. She asked casually, "What do you want it? The living room or the balcony?" Leon froze for a moment and replied, "The balcony might not be a good idea." The Silver Dragon Queen answered indifferently, "Then the living room. It's all the same anyway." Leon let out a long breath. He slowly closed his eyes. "All right then." Leon spread his arms and lay back on the sofa, only to hear her say leisurely, "What are you doing?" Leon opened his eyes shyly, suddenly realizing he might have misunderstood. The Silver Dragon Queen let out a soft snort and said in a half-dismissive, casual tone, "Mr. Casmode, are you that frustrated? Tonight's not appropriate. Another day." As she spoke, the Silver Dragon Queen placed a thick stack of test papers on the table. These were past assessment tests used by St. Zai's Academy for viviparous family evaluations, covering topics like partners' daily habits and personality traits. They needed to align their answers in advance to avoid affecting Noah's admission review. Leon skimmed through them and realized they were nothing more than trivial couple compatibility questions. He began asking in order, "What color do you like?" The Queen answered without hesitation, "Black," then asked back, "And you?" "Silver," Leon replied. Immediately, both of them glanced at each other's hair, his black, hers silver. The next second, they both turned away awkwardly. "Just a coincidence." "Yeah, just a coincidence," the Silver Dragon Queen said huffily. "Anyway, let's test how well we understand each other first." 2.5 minutes later, the results came out. Leon glanced at the score and said casually, "Looks like I scored higher. Seems I understand Her Majesty better." The Queen snorted in dissatisfaction and reread Leon's answers carefully. To her surprise, he had even noted small habits like her preferred sitting posture and how she positioned her tail. "You really pay attention, don't you?" The mistakes were all in questions that involved guessing her inner thoughts. She had always been used to keeping things to herself, rarely opening up to others, so it was only natural that Leon would get those wrong. A faint thought crossed her mind, but she kept it to herself. Noticing that the Queen had been staring at him for a while, Leon wondered if she was holding a grudge over losing the score. He smiled and placed a hand on her shoulder. "We haven't known each other that long. A lower score is normal. For Noah's sake, let's get to know me better from now on." Seeing his serious expression, the Queen felt her cheeks warm and her heart beat a little faster. She promptly slapped an answer sheet against Leon's face. "Enough talk. Write down the correct answers." Narrowing her eyes, she added, "And isn't this one wrong? You actually wrote that you've never been disappointed in me." Leon answered immediately, "No. If I had to say anything, maybe that time the dragon stamina was a bit low. Ahem. I'll treat dragon stamina like a staple from now on. Don't regret it. Then I'll look forward to it." After a week of intensive practice, their average score stabilized above 80. As long as they performed normally, the family evaluation wouldn't be an issue. The Queen leaned quietly against the sofa, her brows slightly furrowed, showing signs of both fatigue and pressure. Just as Leon said, "If there's nothing else, I'll head back," the Silver Dragon Queen suddenly reached out and tugged at his clothes, then pointed toward the bathroom. "There's a bathtub inside. Go take a shower before you leave." Leon froze for a moment. "Taking a bath in your room? That's a privilege I've never had before." The Silver Dragon Queen pushed him impatiently. "Just go already. Stop dragging your feet." Leon couldn't quite understand why she insisted on him bathing here. Was she up to something? Still, she had been tense these past few days because of the entrance exam, so it probably wasn't anything serious. Leon didn't dwell on it and decided to enjoy himself for now. Soaking in a large bathtub was genuinely relaxing. Suddenly, the door clicked open. The Silver Dragon Queen walked in, wrapped in a white bath towel. She smiled playfully and said she had been under a lot of stress lately. It seemed the inevitable had arrived. Leon couldn't help but complain. "If you're stressed, fine, but why dump that pressure on me?" The queen winked mischievously, her lips curling into a charming smile. "By transferring my stress to you, I get relief. Isn't that perfect?" she added. "Besides, weren't you in the same mindset when you came over the other day?" With that, Leon found himself unable to argue back. The next morning, they took their daughter Noah to St. Zai's Academy for the entrance examination. Leon noticed how nervous the Silver Dragon Queen looked. He leaned closer and teased her. "What's wrong? Didn't last night's stress relief work already?" Blushing, the queen lightly smacked Leon's shoulder from behind. "You're impossible." Soon after, they arrived at the registration desk of the Young Dragon Division. An Academy staff member frowned slightly upon seeing Noah's application. Noah K. Melkvi, Silver Dragon Clan, age 1 year and 3 months. She looked up at Leon with a puzzled expression. While the Academy's minimum admission age for young dragons is 1 year. The staff member explained further that, in practice, most young dragons enrolled were usually between 4 and 6 years old, making Noah's age somewhat on the younger side. The Silver Dragon Queen was clearly prepared and replied concisely. "Noah is very smart. Age isn't an issue, and we respect her own wishes." Nearby, a school official nodded and approved Noah's registration, explaining that a staff member would soon escort her to the written exam. Meanwhile, Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen were instructed to head to the 4th floor for the family assessment. Inside the office, 3 white-haired elder dragons sat in a row, giving the room a solemn atmosphere. The Silver Dragon Queen leaned slightly toward Leon and whispered, "Based on your experience, do you think these 3 will be hard to deal with?" Leon carefully observed the 3 elder dragons before answering. "They don't seem too difficult. If it were me before I was captured by you, I could probably handle them within 50 rounds. If they dare refuse Noah's admission, I'll come back with my blade." As the assessment officially began, the white-haired elder seated in the middle introduced himself as Vice Principal Wilson of St. Zai's Academy. He reassured them to relax and simply answer the questions calmly. "Yes, Vice Principal." Leon and the Queen replied with 4 smiles, though both were inwardly nervous about what might come next. Vice Principal Wilson picked up a stack of papers and asked, "Do the 2 of you remember your wedding anniversary?" Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen exchanged a look. Just as expected, the question had arrived. They had discussed this privately before, after all, since they had never formally married and had a child before marriage. Still, there was one date that stood out vividly. In the year 1733 of the Genesis era. They answered in unison, May 25th. It was the day they fell in love at first sight in the dungeon. Vice Principal Wilson looked slightly surprised by their synchronization. "Married for less than 2 years, and your child is already over a year old. That's faster than most families." He then asked his second question. "During these 2 years of marriage, have you noticed any flaws or bad habits in your partner that you find hard to tolerate?" "No," the Silver Dragon Queen replied instantly. Leon, however, answered differently, "Yes." After all, mixing truth with fiction made the response more convincing. This piqued Wilson's interest. "Oh, how so?" Leon replied solemnly. "Sometimes I feel like I barely have any sense of presence." He then smiled warmly and continued, "My wife is simply too capable. Whether it's managing clan affairs or taking care of our child, she handles everything perfectly. It's just that she tends to carry all the pressure on herself." Leon added that he wanted to use this interview as a chance to tell her that he also wished to contribute more to the family and hoped she would rely on him. The Silver Dragon Queen looked genuinely surprised, though in truth, he simply hoped she wouldn't dump all her stress onto herself anymore. One of the examiners nodded approvingly. "What a considerate husband." Then, Silver Dragon Queen, "What do you find most appealing about your husband?" Her cheeks flushed slightly as she answered slowly. "He's handsome, well-built, focused, smart without being smug, responsible, good with children, and rarely loses his temper. His physical condition isn't quite as good as before marriage, but he's excellent at alchemy and knows how to take care of himself with medicine." Leon's lips twitched faintly. Was that praise, or was she subtly roasting him? She then gazed at Leon with clear affection. "So, I'd also like to use this interview to tell my husband, don't push yourself too hard. I understand." As she finished speaking, she gave his hand a firm squeeze. Seeing this, the 3 examiners expressed their satisfaction. What a deeply affectionate and loving couple. The remaining questions were answered with perfect coordination between Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen. Near the end of the interview, the examiner on the left added, "Do either of you have a question you'd like to ask the other?" The one being asked must answer truthfully. To avoid unnecessary complications, the Silver Dragon Queen replied at once, "I have nothing I want to ask my husband. I already know everything about him." "And you, Mr. Leon?" Leon leaned back on the sofa, resting his chin on one hand, brows slightly furrowed, before asking in a low voice, "You actually like the teddy bear I gave you, don't you?" The Silver Dragon Queen froze. She hadn't expected such a question, one completely unrelated to status, responsibility, or past grudges. Her pupils trembled slightly as she brushed back her silver hair, lowered her gaze, and nodded. "I like it very much." Leon clapped his hands once, signaling that he had no further questions. With that, the family interview finally came to an end. The results would be delivered to the Silver Dragon Temple by Messenger Dragon in the coming days. A week later, the long-awaited Messenger Dragon finally arrived, a bamboo tube tied to its back. Leon removed the tube and eagerly opened the letter as his two daughters watched with anticipation. The message was brief and clear. Noah was to report to the academy in 3 days for her enrollment ceremony. "We passed. We passed. Big sister is amazing. Dad and Mom are amazing too." Muin spun around happily while holding Noah, who was just as overjoyed. The Silver Dragon Queen looked at Leon with a radiant smile. "Thank you." He wasn't quite used to her being so polite and replied with a grin. "What are you thanking me for? This was all Noah. She really is my daughter." The Silver Dragon Queen decided to prepare a grand meal to celebrate. After taking a few steps, she suddenly stopped and turned back to Leon. "You're helping too," she said, "so you don't complain again about having no presence in this family." Leon clicked his tongue. "TCH, you really are petty, you know that." Before long, the day of the St. Cecil Academy entrance ceremony arrived. Headmaster Wilson personally presided over the event. All the young dragons who had passed the Academy's evaluation, along with their guardians, gathered inside the Grand Hall. Standing on the stage, Wilson addressed the crowd. "Among this year's new students are many outstanding performers. We firmly believe that true excellence is nurtured by harmonious families. With that in mind, we've invited a few families to share their experiences." He then announced, "Now, please welcome the top-ranked entrant of this year, Noah K. Melkvi and her family." Down below, Muin clenched her little fists in excitement. "Oh, Dad, Mom, and Sis are going on stage." Holding Noah's hand, Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen could only walk toward the podium with resigned expressions. In truth, Headmaster Wilson had approached them an hour earlier, explaining that their family had achieved the best overall results in the entrance assessment and asking them to give a short speech. With no time to prepare, they had no choice but to agree. Noah, meanwhile, looked utterly miserable. She had only wanted to enroll quietly. Why did something this socially mortifying have to happen to her? Sensing that the family wasn't exactly eloquent, Wilson smoothly stepped in. "Noah, as the youngest candidate this year, you still managed to earn a perfect score. Would you like to share your thoughts with everyone?" After a moment of thought, Noah replied earnestly, "My mom is a very powerful dragon. When I grow up, I want to become just as strong as she is. When I said I wanted to attend the academy, she supported and encouraged me. And my younger sister, Muin, has always stayed by my side. I'm very grateful to them." Hearing this, Leon felt his heart tighten slightly. Was his daughter really not going to mention him at all? Then Noah continued, "But the person I want to thank the most is my father. He studied with me every day and often stayed up late preparing materials. Thanks to him, I'm able to stand here today." As an old-fashioned father, hearing his daughter say those words made Leon's eyes grow moist. "That's enough. Thank you, Noah," Leon said, giving a polite bow toward the audience. Wilson smiled and praised him. "You're quite good at raising children. Since your daughter is so grateful, shouldn't you give her a kiss to show a father's love?" Leon forced his tears back and stared at Wilson in disbelief. Was this headmaster trying to turn the entrance ceremony into a public incident? Just a month ago, Noah wouldn't even let him touch her, let alone kiss her in front of everyone. Lowering his voice, Leon whispered, "Noah, we don't have to go that far. A hug is fine." Noah's face instantly turned red. "A kiss on the cheek is okay. Just hurry up and end this painfully embarrassing ceremony." Leon froze on the spot. Then he quickly lifted his eldest daughter into his arms and, amid the crowd's cheers, gently kissed her on the forehead. At last, a small crack appeared in the ice between them. Down below, Muin looked on in envy and tried to rush up to kiss her sister as well, only to be stopped by a dragon maid. Watching Noah's flushed face, the Silver Dragon Queen secretly felt relieved. It was a good thing they hadn't said to kiss her instead. But Wilson's next words left them completely stunned. An outstanding dragon never forgets to be grateful to family. The Melkvi family has shown us what a true family looks like. Mr. Leon, now that you've kissed your daughter, how can you forget your wife? Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen were utterly dumbfounded. This old dragon was really pushing his luck. If only they dealt with him back during the evaluation. Still, this was Noah's most important day. Leon had been through countless battles. There was no way he'd be intimidated by something like this. He confidently reached out to the Silver Dragon Queen and invited her. My dear wife, we are the happiest and most harmonious family, aren't we? Noah couldn't help but look up, curious to see how her usually reserved mother would handle public kiss. Lowering her voice, the Silver Dragon Queen asked, "You really want to kiss me in front of hundreds of dragons? I don't have a choice. Both daughters are watching. Just play along." Teach, this is so embarrassing. They'd done everything a couple could do, except actually kiss, aside from that one unforgettable incident 2 years ago. As Leon moved closer, the Silver Dragon Queen's cheeks grew hotter and redder. "Fine, whatever," she muttered, closing her eyes and bracing herself. The next instant, warmth touched her right cheek. It lasted only a brief moment. She opened her eyes, both surprised and delighted, and touched the spot where he'd kissed her. The onlooking dragons weren't satisfied, shouting, "Why not on the lips? Do it again." Leon could only smile politely and signal that it was enough. Turning back to her, he whispered smugly, "That felt good," finally relieved some stress. The Silver Dragon Queen was furious. Using her as stress relief? If there weren't so many people around, she would have pinned him to the floor. Seeing that things had gone far enough, Wilson stepped in to conclude. "Thank you to this year's model family for bringing us such joy. Please return to your seats." After the ceremony, Noah was finally about to begin her academy life. The family of four said their goodbyes at the academy gates. The Silver Dragon Queen wasn't good with words. "We're heading back now. We'll come pick you up next weekend. Take good care of yourself." Muin talked endlessly to her sister, but the message boiled down to one thing. "Sis, don't forget to miss Muin." "I will," Noah replied. At last, it was Leon's turn. He crouched down in front of Noah and reminded her, "Eat on time. Don't be picky. Study hard. If you don't understand something, ask me when you're home on break. And if you get sick, go see the school medic. Don't try to tough it out." Noah listened carefully and nodded. "Got it. I'm not a little kid anymore." Leon then gestured toward the mother dragon behind him. "Actually, all of that came from your mom when she was drunk. She was just too embarrassed to say it to you herself. If you run into classmates with bad personalities, stay away from them. But if anyone dares to bully you, hit back. Your dad's got your back." Noah tried not to smile. "Did you do stuff like that when you were in school?" "Of course," Leon said. "Every time I got into a fight, your grandpa would drag me home and beat me up. But don't worry, I won't do that to you." Noah nodded obediently. "I remember. I'll take good care of myself." Meanwhile, inside the Silver Dragon Temple, the Queen's study was quiet. The Silver Dragon Queen leaned over her desk, reading the compendium of blood magic. Blood Oath, a charm that can only be used once in a lifetime. Using blood as a medium, the caster will fall into extreme weakness and exhaustion. A thought stirred in her mind. So that's one of the reasons Leon was unconscious for 2 years. With some modifications, this could become an interesting technique. Just then, a figure flew into the study, catching her by surprise. It was her trusted attendant, Sherry. Earlier, she had been ordered to investigate the whereabouts of Tygel Lawrence and his wife. Sherry reported apologetically that there was no trace of them within the Empire, as if they had vanished entirely. Their information had been wiped clean. The Silver Dragon Queen frowned slightly. According to Leon, his master was just an ordinary old farmer. Now, that seemed far from the truth. Keep investigating, only if you can stay safe. Report back immediately if you find anything. The next day, in the training grounds behind the temple, Leon was playing knight with Muin. "Come on like this, swing the stick straight down." Muin's eyes followed the movement, but her hands couldn't keep up and she flailed the wooden stick wildly. Leon patiently guided her hands, teaching her move by move. The Silver Dragon Queen happened to witness the scene. Seeing her mother approach with a dragon maid, Muin waved cheerfully. Leon turned around as well. She had finally returned after a full day of inspections. The Silver Dragon Queen patted Muin's head. "Did you behave and listen to your dad today?" "Yes, I was super good. Dad even taught me how to hold a sword." "Good girl. Dinner will be ready soon. I asked the chef to prepare steak. Go change your clothes first." Muin clenched her fists in excitement. Yay, steak was her favorite. After the dragon maid led Muin away, the Silver Dragon Queen was about to speak, but before she could, Leon suddenly slashed a tree branch toward her, stopping it precisely at her throat. The Silver Dragon Queen didn't dodge. What? Finally decided to make a move. Pointing a weapon at me in the Silver Dragon Temple is treason, punishable by death. Leon quickly protested. Your Majesty, you're calling a tree branch a weapon? Weren't you once the strongest dragon slayer? In your hands. Wouldn't even this count as a killing weapon? Hearing that, Leon lowered the branch and let out a soft sigh. You know, if you're going to compliment someone, at least do it properly. What's with the sarcasm? The Silver Dragon Queen snorted, chin held high. TCH, who said I was complimenting you? Leon explained honestly that he'd only wanted to scare her a little, but since she wasn't afraid at all, it felt pointless. She, on the other hand, was blunt. Given Leon's current condition, a tiny branch wasn't going to hurt her in the slightest. The two of them then sat down side by side on a long bench. The Silver Dragon Queen mentioned a letter Noah had sent the day before, saying she'd been doing fine at the academy and that they didn't need to worry. The letter was short, but the fact that Noah took the initiative to write back was already meaningful. Leon thought for a moment and said, in that sense, she really takes after you, always keeping a straight face, making it hard to tell what she's thinking. But once you figure out how to approach her, she's actually easy to get along with. The Silver Dragon Queen then shared a secret. Noah actually admired Leon a great deal. It was a classic dragon mentality, admiration for strength, longing for the strong. In Noah's eyes, Leon had become a top student powerhouse, which was why she was determined to earn first place after first place at the academy, refusing to lose to him. Hearing that, Leon smiled with relief. I thought I was just a weak, bookish dad in her eyes. As she slipped off her high heels, the Silver Dragon Queen continued. When you first woke up, Noah kept avoiding you. But during the 2 years you were unconscious, she often snuck in to see you. If I caught her, she'd claim she was just looking for Muan. When they were little and crying, no one could calm them down. But if they were placed next to you, they'd quiet down immediately. Maybe even before they were aware of it. Blood had already bound you together. The word bloodline stirred something unfamiliar, yet warm in Leon's chest. He was an orphan, someone who'd never known parental love or understood what family truly meant. At the age of 5, his master and mistress had taken him in. Though unrelated by blood, they treated him as their own son. That was the first time he truly understood the concept of home, though a faint sense of longing still lingered deep inside. If only they really were his parents. He remembered his mistress once telling him, Leon, one day you'll become someone's father. They'll be the family you'll love, protect, and devote everything to, blood thicker than water. At that thought, Leon clenched his fist. Yes, they were the family he cherished most now. The Silver Dragon Queen looked at him with confusion. What are you spacing out for? We should head back. Leon snapped out of it and smiled awkwardly. Nothing. Thanks for telling me all that. Let's go. Instead, she nudged her high heels toward him with her foot. Wearing a mischievous grin, she said, if you're thanking me, then help me put my shoes back on. Leon stared at her, baffled. Helping you wash your feet last time was humiliating enough. Now you want to put your shoes on too? Don't I get to keep some dignity? Before he could finish, the Silver Dragon Queen planted her foot squarely on his face. You idiot. I haven't even settled the score for you kissing me at the entrance ceremony. Now you won't even help me with my shoes? Plenty of people would beg for the chance. You don't get to complain. Fine, I'll do it. Leon squatted down, lifting her smooth foot with one hand while carefully sliding the heel on with the other. She smiled in satisfaction. You complain, but your hands sure know what they're doing. Leon replied casually, of course. Putting shoes on you is way easier than shoeing a donkey. She bared her teeth in anger. You're dead. She immediately kicked toward Leon's face. Leon dodged effortlessly and even mocked her. As long as I'm faster, you can't hit me. Still, he knew full well she wasn't going to let him off that night. A few days later, the family of 3 stood in the front courtyard of the temple, gazing up at the sky at a 45-degree angle. Muin raised both hands excitedly and shouted, It's coming! It's coming! A massive dragon descended from the sky. Leon gave a quick glance and said, That thing's several times bigger than you are when you transform. The Silver Dragon Queen nodded and explained, That's a Leviathan. Enormous body, but relatively weak in combat. Thanks to their incredible stamina and extremely stable temperament, they usually serve as transport among dragonkind. Leon frowned slightly. Why emphasize emotional stability? She explained that a Leviathan could live for thousands of years without losing its temper even once, which was why the Academy trusted them to escort young dragons. A pillar of magic light flared up from the Leviathan's body, connecting it to the ground below. Moments later, Noah's figure appeared within the beam, slowly descending to the ground. Once she landed safely, she spoke softly. Mom, I'm home. Welcome back, Noah, the Silver Dragon Queen replied. Before she could say anything else, Moon threw herself into Noah's arms. Sister, I missed you so much. Noah then turned to Leon, hesitated, and failed to say the word dad. It seemed the eldest still wasn't used to calling him that. Sensing the awkwardness, Leon stepped in. It's good to have you back. Your mom and I made a lot of your favorite dishes. Near the end of dinner, Noah took several report sheets from her bag and laid them neatly on the table. First place in Alchemical Machinery Basics. First place in Introductory Magic, Young Dragon Edition. First place in Dragon History, Volume 1. She then held up the final report, her expression serious. The last subject, Comprehensive Physical Fitness, 95 points. I didn't get first place. I'm sorry, Mom. The Silver Dragon Queen smiled gently. There's no need to apologize. You did extremely well. That's right, sister. Moon nodded vigorously. Mom's right. To Moon, you're the best. Despite the encouragement from her mother and sister, Noah's expression barely changed. Watching this, Leon sighed inwardly. One didn't know how to express emotions. The other expressed them too much. Looks like the old dad had to step in. He picked up the report and looked it over carefully. Running, bench press, pull-ups, these are all basic fitness tests, right? The kids your age are only 4 or 5. Being weaker than them physically is normal. Leon then added calmly. But look here, combat sparring. 9 wins out of 10. That's the highest win rate in your class. It shows that while you may not match them in raw strength, your judgment, strategy, and combat technique are far ahead. So don't dwell on that third place. You'll surpass them soon enough. After Leon Casmode finished breaking it down, Noah's expression finally softened. She hesitated, then said, but Mom told me you were ranked first in every subject back when you were in school. Hearing that, Leon felt a surge of pride. His daughter really did see him as a role model. Still, this wasn't the moment to brag. That's not quite true, Leon said seriously. When I first enrolled, I wasn't number 1 either. I only got there through effort and persistence. You still got plenty of time. Don't let one setback crush your spirits. I believe you can do even better. Noah nodded firmly. Okay, I understand. Seeing her sister's mood lift, Moen turned to Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen with curiosity. If Dad's that strong, then if you and Mom fought, who would win? Without missing a beat, both adults slapped their chests and answered in unison, me. Clearly, neither Leon nor the Silver Dragon Queen was willing to back down on that question. Leon puffed out his chest proudly. My combat training back then was practically art. Hand-to-hand, weapons, magic. No one could beat me. Obviously, I'm stronger. The Silver Dragon Queen shot him a sidelong glance. Maybe you collected more academy honors than I did, but I only win when it matters. Didn't you end up marrying me because you couldn't beat me back then? That set Leon off immediately. You got it backwards. It was you who couldn't beat me. That's how we ended up with Muin and Noah. Sparks practically flew as they locked eyes. Before long, the argument turned into a decision to settle things outside. Muin bounced with excitement. Are Mom and Dad really going to fight? This is going to be great. Noah grabbed her hand, eager to watch too. Out on the training field, Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen began loosening up. Their daughters sat on a nearby bench, a bucket of popcorn resting on their laps. Muin whispered, Sis, you're curious who's stronger too, right? Noah nodded eagerly. The teacher said watching experts spar helps improve our own skills. Rolling her wrist, the Silver Dragon Queen smiled. That said, your body hasn't fully recovered to the level it was at when you fought the Dragon King. Has it? Leon dropped into a stretch, warming up. So what? Chances to spar with the Silver Dragon Queen don't come often. I'm not wasting this one. She decided a simple match wasn't interesting enough and suggested a wager. Leon raised a brow. What kind of wager? If you win, she said calmly, I won't touch you for a month. If I win, you'll have to fulfill one request of mine. Leon had no idea what kind of outrageous demand she might make. But if he won, a whole month of easy freedom was guaranteed. It was the kind of offer he'd never dare imagine under normal circumstances. Way too tempting. Leon lifted a finger and pointed straight at her. Deal. I accept. The Silver Dragon Queen gave a low chuckle. You've got guts. Then let's begin. Nearby, Muin munched on popcorn, giggling to herself. She accidentally knocked over a cup of juice, letting out a startled cry. Both Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen glanced over. Only pineapple juice had spilled. That became the signal to start. On the training field, their movements blurred into 2 streaks of afterimages. When those afterimages solidified again, Leon was already right in front of the Silver Dragon Queen, his fist shooting straight toward her chest. The Silver Dragon Queen crossed her arms in front of her chest, blocking Leon Casmode's full-powered strike head-on. In the next instant, her tail whipped toward him. Leon reacted just in time. springing backward and bracing himself with both hands to narrowly evade the blow. He twisted his arms smoothly, shifting his momentum. A kick followed, snapping straight toward the Silver Dragon Queen. She crossed her arms again to block, then slid backward several meters. Trading pure technique with him puts me at a disadvantage, she thought. Better keep my distance. Purple dragon fire flared to life in her palm. Leon seized the moment to tease. What's wrong, Your Majesty? Afraid to fight me up close? As long as I beat you, that's all that matters. With that, she hurled several orbs of dragon fire at him. The barrage was relentless. Explosions rippled across the training field, waves of heat and shock rolling outward, but not a single blast landed cleanly on Leon. Muin watched anxiously. Dad keeps dodging. Is he going to lose? Not necessarily, Noah said calmly. He's attacking and evading using only physical techniques, while Mom is relying on dragon fire to keep her distance and look for an opening. That means she's not confident she can beat him in close combat. Muin blinked her big eyes in admiration. You know so much, sis. Noah flushed slightly. The teacher explained it in class. Standing her ground, the Silver Dragon Queen smirked. Aren't you fast? Let's see how long you can keep dodging. Leon slipped past another blast and snorted. I'm not just fast. I'm tough too. The Silver Dragon Queen laughed softly. Oh, then how about this? She interlocked her fingers, gathering even more magical power. Thick fog surged up in an instant, and the Silver Dragon Queen's figure vanished within it. A split second later, an enormous mass of dragon fire came crashing down. When the smoke finally cleared, Leon Chasmode was completely unharmed and grinning provocatively. That was way too slow, Your Majesty. Lightning crackled around his body. The Silver Dragon Queen stared in shock. This guy, he's actually reinforcing his body with lightning magic. No one is stealing my 1-month vacation. Leon roared as he charged straight at her. The Silver Dragon Queen struggled to block, worry flashing through her mind. His mana hasn't fully recovered, yet he's pushing lightning magic this far. That's reckless. I need to end this quickly. At that moment, Leon caught a subtle opening. He planted one hand on the ground, dipped low, and swept his leg toward her feet. By the time she realized it, it was already too late. Leon flashed a confident grin. Looks like I win. Lightning gathered in his fist as he prepared to strike. But just as she lost her balance and was about to fall, Leon instinctively reached out and caught her. With a slight pull, he drew the Silver Dragon Queen into his arms. One high, one low, their eyes locked. Hearts raced, faces flushing red. She hadn't expected this obnoxious man to hesitate. Softly, she murmured, "Dragon fire." Leon blinked and looked down. Her palm was already pressed against his chest. He jolted in panic. Dragon fire. It's burning. Anyone got water? Then he realized it barely hurt at all. The flames faded quickly, leaving only warmth. Arms crossed, the Silver Dragon Queen said sternly, "The fight isn't over. You shouldn't lose focus." Their daughters ran over at that moment. Muin tilted her head curiously. So, Mom and Dad, who won in the end? Leon sighed in disappointment. I let my guard down at the end. This one's my loss. The Silver Dragon Queen lifted her chin proudly. I'll admit it. You're strong. No enchanted armor, no proper weapon, and you still push me this far with pure technique. No one's ever done that before. Leon clenched his fist. Obviously, if I'd gone all out, I definitely would have beaten you. A mischievous smile curled her lips. Since you admitted defeat, don't forget our wager. Leon froze, as if struck by arrows. Oh no, I forgot about the bet. Seeing him collapse dramatically, Muin asked in concern, Mom, did Dad die? The Silver Dragon Queen chuckled. He's fine. He just overused his strength and ran out of stamina. He'll recover soon. Leon then rushed to his daughter's room to solemnly deliver his last words. Noah, once I'm gone, take good care of Muin. She's still little. Muin, listen to your sister and don't make her mad. What worries me most is the two of you. You're barely over a year old. How could your mom be so heartless as to take me away? Noah frowned. Why does this sound like you're going to an execution? Muin suddenly had a realization. I read in a book that when female cockroaches marry male cockroaches, they eat the males. Oh, Leon nearly collapsed. His filial daughter was way too happy about it. Just then, the Silver Dragon Queen appeared, leaning against the doorway in a purple slip dress. She smiled at the girls. Go to sleep early. There's nothing to worry about. Then she grabbed Leon and pulled him away. You said enough last words. Come with me. When Leon Chasmode entered the Silver Dragon Queen's bedroom, 2 bottles of red wine were already set on the table. She crossed her legs and gently swirled the glass. You're not going to have a drink with me? Leon declined politely. Her expression hardened at once. You bastard. You promised me, didn't you? Now you won't even share a drink." Leon said he simply wasn't in the mood. In truth, he wanted to stay clear-headed. There was no way he'd let her lead him around by the nose. The Silver Dragon Queen set the glass down. "Honestly, I was kind of hoping you'd win." Leon froze, then looked up at her. "Why? If you won, I have to give you a full month off. You could actually recover properly during that time." Hearing that from her felt surreal. "If that's the case, why didn't you just surrender back at the training field?" She lifted her glass again. "No, I came up with something more interesting." Without warning, she poured the wine over herself. The deep red liquid soaked straight in her nightdress. With a mischievous smile, she said, "What I like most is the look you get when you lose but refuse to accept it." The rich scent of wine filled Leon's senses, dizzying him. Once again, there was nowhere to escape. Then suddenly, the Silver Dragon Queen bit down on her own lip. By the time Leon realized what was happening, it was already too late. This feeling, "Don't tell me you used that spell on me." Crimson magical sigils surfaced within Leon's eyes. Seeing his discomfort, she spoke calmly. "Ever since you used it on me 2 years ago, I've missed that sensation." Leon asked solemnly. "You know the price of that spell, right? You'd better be sure." She smiled with confidence. "Of course." I adjusted the formation slightly, enough to minimize the strain of the blood curse on a dragon's body. Leon went completely blank, heat flooding his body as his thoughts scattered. The Silver Dragon Queen straightened up, eyes gleaming. "Great Dragon Slayer, once again you're my captive." Leon's body burned hotter by the second, and she clearly enjoyed watching him like this. "Brave, upright Dragon Slayer, you're about to lose your reason. Care to see what you look like right now?" As she spoke, she raised her right hand, conjuring a mirror. She smiled playfully. "I bought this in Sky City. It's a magical tool that can briefly record images." "Leon, tell me what's going through your mind." Under the influence of the blood curse, Leon's remaining rationality finally collapsed, leaving him no choice but to obey. The cunning, scheming Dragon Queen before him transformed into a fragile, captivating wife, beautiful beyond words. The Silver Dragon Queen looked both surprised and intrigued. "So this is what I looked like when I was under the blood curse back then." She gave a soft snort. "My dragon-slaying hero. I never thought I'd see this day." Before long, morning arrived. Leon woke to sunlight spilling across the Silver Dragon Queen's silvery hair. It looked like pristine winter snow, pure and untouched. Her eyes were closed, her expression unusually peaceful. "Wake up. You're usually so disciplined," Leon said, gently patting her cheek, but she didn't respond. He concluded she was suffering from the aftereffects of the blood curse. She might not wake up for an entire week. The thought struck him. Wasn't this the perfect chance to escape home? A normal human body wouldn't get far in a week, but with the black gold battle armor, it would be another story entirely. On top of that, Leon still had stamina potions and recovered pills with him. If he ran at full speed, it would be more than enough to reach human territory. By the time the Silver Dragon Queen woke up and realized he was gone, it would be too late. "Ha ha." Just as he burst out laughing, the thought suddenly died, and he abandoned the plan. Things weren't that simple. After all, he'd been away from the Empire for 2 full years and had no idea what the situation was like now. On top of that, the circumstances surrounding his capture were full of unanswered questions. Rushing back blindly would only increase the risk. Caution was the smarter choice. Besides, he'd already asked the Silver Dragon Queen to look into his master's condition. Waiting for that news first made more sense. Most importantly, he couldn't bring himself to leave his 2 daughters behind. "Sis, grab her. Slow down, don't fall." If he left on his own, Muin would be heartbroken beyond comfort. And Noah, cold on the surface, was really just guarded. She longed for affection too. Leon didn't want to disappoint them. His love for his daughters came from the depths of his bloodline, something that would never change under any circumstances. So for now, he had to stay in the Silver Dragon Sanctum. After all, he still hadn't gotten his revenge on that Dragon Queen. In a daze, Leon felt more like a former dragon slayer, standing watch over a dragon king awaiting execution. Every second from now on, he would stay right by your side, Silver Dragon Queen. To a dragon slayer, a dragon is the ultimate prize. And who says staying in the Silver Dragon Sanctum disqualifies one from being a hero? The 2 little dragon girls watched as their mother lay in bed all day without waking up. Muin asked anxiously, "Is Mom okay?" Why won't she respond? Noah turned toward Leon, her tone sharp. "What did you 2 do last night?" Leon scratched his head guiltily. We talked for a long time on the balcony. She probably caught a chill from the night wind." He then looked to the dragon maid nearby. "Nothing serious, right?" Anna replied respectfully. "Please rest assured, Your Highness." The temple physician examined Her Majesty earlier. Aside from some weakness, everything is normal. I'll temporarily handle the clan's affairs for the next few days. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave." Leon nodded, letting her go. Muin leaned against the bed, gently stroking her mother's silver hair. "Mom, please get better soon. Muin won't make you angry again." She was obedient and pure, almost painfully so. Leon noticed how much his wife was sweating. He needed to wipe her down later. Meanwhile, Noah, the little iceberg dragon, stared at him suspiciously. "You're not planning to do something while Mom's unconscious, are you?" Leon met her gaze calmly. "You're overthinking it, Noah. Right now, I just want to take good care of Mom." After a brief pause, she replied flatly, "Is that so? Then fine." After saying that, Leon turned to leave, reminding Muin to come back tomorrow to see her mother together. Though reluctant, Muin still obediently said, "Good night, Dad." During this time, Leon truly planned to take good care of her. He didn't want the Silver Dragon Queen to wake up still looking frail, worrying their precious daughters. So he brought over a basin of warm water and gently washed her face. He carefully wiped her forehead, the bridge of her nose, and her cheeks with a towel. Muttering softly, he said, "I'm only doing this so you don't catch a cold. Don't misunderstand when you wake up." Normally, she always kept her large tail visible, but now she was so weak she couldn't even manifest it. After that, Leon figured he might as well change her clothes too. Opening the wardrobe, he was met with an overwhelming variety of outfits. In the end, he decided to choose based on his own taste. Stroking his chin, Leon considered the look he wanted. The clothes were easy enough, but what about the ears? Right, I can braid them out of her hair. 2.5 minutes later, everything was done. The Silver Dragon Queen's slim-eared girl limited look made its debut. Suddenly, the dragon mark on Leon's chest began to glow. The sight startled him, leaving him momentarily flustered. He quickly recited the Dragon Slayer's 3 honors and 3 shames in his mind to calm himself. Honor loyalty to the Empire, shame collusion with dragons. Once he finished, the glow faded and Leon finally let out a breath of relief. Still, after dressing her up so beautifully, not recording it would be a waste. Leon suddenly remembered there was a household camera in her room. He rummaged through the drawers for a bit, and sure enough, he found it. Speaking softly toward the lens, Leon said, "Come on, honey, smile for me." Suddenly, the Silver Dragon Queen's brow twitched, and she let out a faint sound. Leon's eyes widened in shock. No way, but he soon realized he had scared himself for nothing. By the next morning, Muin came running in a hurry. Sis. Noah stopped and asked what was wrong. Muin shook the cube in her hands. "My puzzle cube broke. I wanted Dad to fix it, but I can't find him anywhere." Noah frowned. Did Dad take advantage of Mom being unconscious and escape the Dragon Keep? Still, she didn't jump to conclusions. Instead, she took Muin's hand. "Don't panic. Let's look together." As they walked, Muin kept calling out, "Dad, where are you?" Not in the Silver Dragon Queen's room. Not in Leon's bedroom either. Not even in the trash can. Seeing how innocent Muin looked, Noah couldn't help but sigh. Why would he be in there? Muin asked, puzzled. If we can't find Dad anywhere, did he get lost? Noah forced down the disappointment and sadness in her chest. Some people are good, but they're always going to leave eventually. Just like last time. Muin tilted her head. Like last time. Before she could say more, Noah spoke firmly. If I'm right, that man has already left. I've always felt there was something off about our family. It looked harmonious on the surface, but a lot of it feels fake. Ever since I can remember, he was always asleep in that room. Mom said he was our father, but the day he woke up, the first thing he did was try to run. Mom didn't explain anything. She just captured him again. After that, he started deliberately being nice to me, teaching me things, acting like a proper father. But was that really love? Or was it just a plan to lower our guard while he searched for another chance to escape? If a relationship hides unknown motives behind it, I'd rather not have it at all than become someone else's tool. He doesn't belong here. Sooner or later, he'll leave us behind. Hearing that, tears rolled down Muin's cheeks like tiny pearls. Mom won't wake up, and now Dad doesn't want us anymore. What are we supposed to do? Noah held her tightly. It's okay. Your sister will protect you. Even though she didn't even have a kindergarten diploma yet. In that moment, Noah truly took on the role of an adult. Muin cried uncontrollably in her arms. Noah looked off to the side, as if remembering something. Let's hold a farewell ceremony for that man. At the same time, near the rear mountain of the Silver Dragon's sanctum, Leon was scouting an area where cherry blossoms were in full bloom. It seemed the maid hadn't lied. That morning, he had asked Anna about the places the Silver Dragon Queen liked to visit. He only needed her to mark them on a map. He planned to go alone. That was why he took advantage of her unconscious state to come out and survey the terrain, preparing a big surprise for when she woke up. Of course, checking her favorite spots was just a pretense. This was all part of his revenge plan. He intended to humiliate her in the place she loved most, while she was still weak, just as she had once humiliated him before his homeland. Leon chose a sturdy cherry blossom tree. It would be the perfect spot to pin her in place. The ground wasn't soft enough, but flower petals could fix that. From this angle, the entire Silver Dragon sanctum was in clear view. Satisfied, he finalized the cherry grove as his choice. Everything was ready. All that remained was for the queen to awaken. This time, I'll make you pay. When Leon returned to the courtyard, he saw the maids all gathered together. Confused, he asked one of them, "What's with all the excitement?" Without turning around, the maid replied, "The young ladies said they're holding a funeral and asked us to prepare a bonfire." Moen was calling out nearby, "I brought you steak. Dad, please come back and see us." Noah comforted her. "He's already gone. Try to let it go." Leon assumed they were just playing pretend and decided to go along with it. As he walked through the maids, they gasped in shock. "It's the prince consort." Leon quietly approached the two little dragon girls. "Who are you mourning?" "My father-in-law once taught me how to play the Swona. Want a performance?" But when he saw the photo on the table, it was of him. His first thought was that he looked pretty handsome. Then it hit him. Why were they holding a funeral for him? Hearing his voice, the girls spun around in disbelief. "Dad's here." Leon laughed awkwardly. "Wow, such filial daughters. Gone for one day, and you're already holding my funeral." Muin burst into tears. Dad came back. She threw herself into his arms, sobbing loudly. Muin thought Daddy didn't want Muin anymore. Leon gently patted her head. "Silly girl, how could Dad ever abandon you?" With reddened eyes, Noah said, "But Muin and I searched everywhere. We thought you had already left." Leon quickly smiled and explained, "Dad just went for a walk in the back mountain today." Noah's eyes stung slightly. She hugged the wooden box tighter, lowered her head, and murmured, "So, I was wrong about Dad." Leon picked up Muin and turned to the dragon maids. "You can all disperse now." Muin pointed at the offerings on the table and cautiously asked if she could eat them. Once she got permission, she happily wagged her little tail and ran over. Leon muttered, "I wonder who she got that appetite from." Noah spoke up softly. "Next time you go out alone, tell us first. Muin will worry about you." Leon could tell. Noah had been worried too. She just didn't know how to say it. He smiled helplessly and nodded. "Sorry, I made Muin worry." Noah looked at him again. "And I owe you an apology too. I didn't trust you this time." Seeing her bow seriously to apologize caught Leon off guard. The funeral had come from her misunderstanding, and honestly, no one would have known if she'd kept quiet. But children who grow up too fast tend to shoulder responsibility and guilt on their own. This whole mess happened because he hadn't given her enough reassurance. Leon understood her well, longing for affection, craving love, yet too afraid to take that final step. No matter what promises he made right now, she wouldn't easily believe them. All he could do was prove it through his actions and become a real father. He gently patted Noah's head. "It's okay. Let's go eat dinner. You still have school at the academy tomorrow." The next morning, Muin leaned against the Silver Dragon Queen's bed, her face full of worry. Suddenly, the queen's fingers twitched slightly. Slowly, she opened her eyes. "Mom, you're finally awake." Muin wagged her little tail excitedly, tears welling up. "You kept sleeping. Muin was so worried about you." The Silver Dragon Queen wiped away her tears and gently pinched her chubby cheek. "I'm sorry, Muin. I made you worry." But when she tried to sit up, her body felt terribly weak. She could barely muster any strength. She had thought a Dragon King's body could withstand the backlash of the blood curse. Apparently, she was wrong. Was it because she had used that to save him? After learning from Muin that she'd been unconscious for 2 days, the queen assumed. Given his personality, he must have already escaped the Dragon Keep. And sure enough, he was nowhere to be seen in the room. She closed her eyes in frustration, regretting her miscalculation. Still, 2 days wasn't enough for him to get far. Just as she was about to send someone to capture him, Leon walked in holding a lively fish. "Muin, how about fish for dinner tonight? I caught it in the back mountain. Isn't Dad awesome?" After hearing Muin's praise, Leon suddenly noticed the Silver Dragon Queen was awake. She turned her head in shock. "Why are you still here?" Leon grinned. "Where else would I be? I went to the back mountain for some fresh air and caught a fish to help my dear wife recover." At being called that, a faint blush crept onto her cheeks. "Who are you calling your dear?" Leon didn't answer her. Instead, he handed the fish to Muin and asked her to take it to the kitchen. Muin raised her little hand in a salute. "Don't worry, Dad. Mission accomplished." Watching the little dragon girl struggle away with a fish nearly as tall as she was, Leon reminded her to eat dinner first. He and her mother had things to settle. The room fell quiet. The Silver Dragon Queen spoke calmly. I thought you'd run the moment I passed out. Leon removed his gloves, a faint smile playing on his lips. There are too many unfinished matters between us. He wasn't going anywhere. She frowned slightly. What matters? Leon stepped closer, stopping just short of contact, close enough to pressure. What you did to him the day he woke up. Her expression tightened. You're not planning to. She warned him not to make a mistake while she was weakened. Leon chuckled softly. 10 minutes awake. Not even a sip of water. And you carved a dragon mark on him and forced him into your game. You remember. She tried to regain control. Once I recover, you know how this ends. Leon leaned in slightly. His voice was steady. Regret? This is the best decision he's ever made. Their dragon marks flared almost in sync. Leon turned and gestured. Cherry Blossom Ridge. Your favorite place. Her pupils shrank. This was an impulse. Beneath the massive cherry tree, petals covered the ground, the entire silver dragon sanctum laid bare below. She frowned, unsettled. Leon spoke with deliberate ceremony. While you were unconscious, he studied every place you loved. This is only the first stop. She scoffed. First stop? You plan on more. Leon pointed toward the sanctum. See it? Your palace. The source of your pride and authority. Her gaze wavered. So this is revenge for your homeland. Leon didn't deny it. Returning humiliation with ritual wasn't a dragon's privilege. Humans remembered too. Their dragon marks shimmered again. Leon forced her attention toward the sanctum. That palace defined her, and now she stood apart from it. Leon spoke quietly. Silver Dragon Queen, how does it feel to be cornered by a once-defeated dragon slayer? With no escape left, she steadied herself. She met his gaze head-on. Then do it, she said coldly. Use every ounce of control you have, and make me feel it. Leon spoke calmly, as if stating a conclusion. The real reckoning was far from over. He let go, a trace of mockery in his tone. Don't talk about later. He's always lived in the present. The night had not yet faded, and an unbalanced dynamic was only beginning to take shape. By morning, Leon carried the Silver Dragon Queen back to her room, feeling completely drained. The long night had left him with a rare sense of exhaustion. Yet the way she slept suggested she didn't reject the outcome at all. A strange thought crossed his mind. He had come here for revenge. He dismissed it just as quickly. Judging by the result, he didn't consider it a loss. Before the servants arrived, Leon intended to return to his own room. The moment he stood up, she reached out instinctively. Her eyes were still closed, her movement purely unconscious. She murmured that it was cold, seeking warmth like any living being would. Leon knew he shouldn't let himself be swayed again. Yet the moment he took her hand, he reconsidered. Compared to an empty, cold bed, this place felt warmer. Muin shuffled into the bedroom, rubbing her eyes. She gently shook her mother's shoulder. Mom, wake up. The sun's on your tail. Half asleep, the Silver Dragon Queen told her to go find her father. Muin ran over and tried waking Leon as well. Leon mumbled back, telling her to go play with her mom. The little dragon girl pouted for a moment. Then she burst out laughing. It was the first time she'd ever seen her parents so close, though they both seemed to have quite a few red marks. A light bulb went off. Bug bites, obviously. She knew how to deal with that. Her mother had taught her. Muin dug out the multi-dragon ointment they'd used before, pride written all over her face. She applied it carefully, treating the task with great seriousness. Sometime later, Leon was woken by the Silver Dragon Queen. The two of them looked at each other. Leon couldn't help laughing. She, on the other hand, fell silent. Muin raised her hand proudly, explaining her good deed. Neither of them knew how to explain the situation, but seeing the little dragon girl waiting to be praised, Leon patted her head and told her she did a great job. Mentally, he made a note to lock the door next time. A few days later, Leon returned to the bedroom carrying a bowl of fragrant fried rice. He scooped up a spoonful and held it to her lips. She instinctively leaned back. Leon spoke matter-of-factly. Eat. You haven't had a proper meal in days. The Silver Dragon Queen shot Leon a glare, yet still ate the food he offered. To her own surprise, it tasted pretty good, and she instinctively opened her mouth for the next bite. Instead, Leon ate the second spoonful himself. Homemade food always tastes better, he said calmly. She immediately protested. You made that for me. Give me another bite. In the end, the two of them finished the bowl together, one spoonful at a time. Leon spoke, as if counting favors. I've been bathing you, feeding you, taking care of you for days. She scoffed. Then why don't you mention how annoying you've been? Leon didn't miss a beat. That's called concern. As he turned to leave, she threw out another sharp remark. Leon answered lightly, as though it were nothing serious. Frustrated, she punched the wall behind her. A sharp crack echoed as fractures spread across the stone. She froze, staring at her hand. Her strength was returning faster than expected. Meanwhile, Leon was still humming while washing dishes, hoping her recovery would take its time. He hadn't realized the trouble yet. The dragon maid Anna entered with medicine prepared by the physician. The queen replied honestly that she felt mostly recovered. Anna quickly noticed the cracks in the wall and asked about them. The queen brushed it off, instructing her to arrange repairs later. Then she stopped Anna as if remembering something. She asked her not to tell Leon about the recovery, pretending she still needed rest. Anna paused in surprise. Then she smiled knowingly and agreed. A faint, mischievous smile crossed the queen's face. 2 days later, Muin came to Leon, asking to learn the shiny body magic. She specified it was the same technique he and her mother used during training. Leon asked why she suddenly wanted to learn magic. Muin admitted she didn't want to fall too far behind her sister. Leon immediately understood. When siblings grow up together, competition often drives them both forward. Leon patted his chest and promised to teach her step by step. Muin nodded eagerly and began practicing the most basic guidance. In just a few short hours, she had already learned how to guide the magic within her body. At this rate, it wouldn't be long before she could undergo magical initiation and awaken her innate source of magic. Could she actually be a genius? Right then, Muin's stomach let out a loud growl. She looked up at Leon helplessly. "I'm hungry. I don't have any strength left." Leon let out an awkward laugh. "There's no need to rush things. That's enough training for today. Dad will take you to get something to eat." He took Muin's small hand and led her toward the kitchen. Not long after, inside the Silver Dragon Queen's bedroom, the dragon maid Anna entered respectfully. "Your Majesty, this is what you asked me to find." "Thank you. You may go and rest now." As soon as the Silver Dragon Queen finished speaking, Leon stepped into the room cheerfully. "I'm here, my dear wife." According to what Anna had said earlier, the Silver Dragon Queen would need at least a full week for her magic to recover. That meant Leon still had 6 whole days to carry out his so-called revenge. "Anywhere still feeling uncomfortable today? I can give you a massage." The Silver Dragon Queen looked at him with open disdain. "What? Not going to show me the power of the Empire's strongest dragon slayer today? I thought you were something special. Turns out you're pretty boring after all." For a split second, Leon wondered if he had misheard her. "Oh, Silver Dragon Queen. So that's how you want to play it." He suddenly reached out and yanked the blanket off. The Silver Dragon Queen immediately put on a worried, pitiful expression. "Since you're so stubborn, I'll show you just how strong I am. Don't say I didn't warn you. I've never regretted anything," she said, smiling sweetly at Leon. The very next second, Leon felt his waist tighten. Her dragon tail had wrapped firmly around him. Damn it, he had fallen right in her trap. With a slight flick of her tail, she sent Leon flying back onto the bed. A mischievous, victorious grin spread across her face. "Silver Dragon Queen, how did you recover your magic so fast?" "Shoo," she said softly. "A captive should know when to stay quiet, my dear dragon slayer." Then she reached out and uncovered the restraints Anna had brought earlier. Leon froze on the spot. Well, had all this been prepared? It seemed he had truly walked straight into a trap. In no time, his hands and feet were shackled, and a blindfold was placed over his eyes. The Silver Dragon Queen studied Leon with a playful glint in her eyes. "Don't even think about struggling. I've undergone professional counterinterrogation and psychological resistance training. I won't break that easily." Seeing Leon still trying to hold his ground, she casually reached out and tapped the recording crystal on the table. "Oh, is that so?" The crystal activated instantly, and a voice filled with yearning and sincerity echoed through the room. "I really want to kiss you, Silver Dragon Queen." Leon's heart skipped violently. It felt as if half his body had gone numb. The Silver Dragon Queen smiled faintly. "That voice sounds familiar, doesn't it? So tell me, who was begging me like that?" Even though both of them knew the truth, Leon still tried to argue. "It just sounds like me. That doesn't prove it was actually me." "Oh," she replied calmly. "Then open your eyes and take a good look." Leon forced one eye open and glanced at the image in the crystal. This time, he had nothing left to say. Only then did he realize that simple revenge was no longer enough for her. She had moved straight to psychological domination. Leon quickly pressed his palms together. "You don't need to play it anymore. I remember everything now." "Good." The Silver Dragon Queen spoke softly as she put the crystal away and picked up the teaching rod on the desk. "Repeat what you just learned a few times," she said with a smile. "If you forget, your teacher can patiently explain it again." When Leon remained silent, she tapped the desk sharply with the rod, the sound striking straight at his nerves. Judging by the obsession and vindictiveness on both sides, this conflict might never truly end if left unchecked. As the saying goes, The only way to stop a war is to introduce a greater one. At that moment, a messenger dragon landed on the balcony. Leon recognized it instantly. It was from the academy. Sending a message this late, something must have happened. The Silver Dragon Queen frowned slightly. The academy wants us there tomorrow. After reading the letter, Leon's expression changed. Noah got into a fight. Early the next morning, Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen hurried to the principal's office, where Noah was already waiting. 3 young dragons stood there with bruised faces, one of them wearing a bandage around his arm. Principal Wilson had summoned them to address the incident involving Noah and her classmates. The Silver Dragon Queen narrowed her eyes. "Principal, are you saying 3 young dragons ganged up on my daughter?" Her presence alone was enough to make the 3 children tremble. Leon immediately checked Noah carefully for injuries. Noah crossed her arms and told him she was fine. Wilson sighed helplessly. "In fact, your daughter was the one who beat all 3 of them." The Silver Dragon Queen looked genuinely surprised. "I see." Noah's silence confirmed the truth. Leon discreetly gave her a thumbs up. "That's my girl." Wilson adjusted his glasses. Although this was just a scuffle among young dragons, it involves the tension between egg-born and live-born dragons. Dragonkind reproduces in both ways. As adults, there's little difference, but among hatchlings, the gap is significant. Egg-born young inherit power directly from their mothers, giving them physical and innate advantages, while live-born dragons must grow and learn to unlock their strength. And yet Noah, a live-born hatchling, managed to take on 3 egg-born dragons older than herself. At such a young age, her potential is remarkable. The moment the words fell, the office door opened again. This time, 3 adult male dragons entered. The red-haired one in front spoke bluntly. "I heard my son got into a fight. Big deal. We'll cover the medical costs." But when he actually saw his son's bruised face and bandaged arm, he froze. "Son, what happened to you?" The other 2 dragons stepped forward as well, quietly checking on their own children. The Silver Dragon Queen leaned slightly toward Leon and spoke in a low voice. "That red-haired one belongs to the bloodline of Constantine, the Crimson Flame Dragon King. His clan is notoriously arrogant." Leon replied, just as quietly, "I've killed enough Crimson Flame dragons to circle this academy twice." The red-haired man walked over with his hands in his pockets, his tone dripping with mockery. "Well, if it isn't the Silver Dragon Queen, a queen who can't even control her own child, letting her bully dragons from other clans? Is the Silver Dragon clan so weak now that you hide behind hatchlings?" Leon stepped forward immediately, placing himself between the man and the queen. The red-haired dragon sneered. "If you don't apologize to my son today, you're not leaving this room." Leon's eyes darkened, a sharp smile appearing instead. Sensing the tension, Principal Wilson slammed his hand on the desk. "Everyone calm down. I'll recount the events clearly. Last night in the cafeteria, Lar provoked Noah verbally. During the exchange, Noah's tray accidentally bumped into him, staining his clothes. Later, on the way back to the dorms, Lar and his companions cornered Noah in the courtyard, where a physical confrontation occurred. That led to the injuries we see now. Do the 3 students have anything to add?" All 3 shook their heads. Noah raised her hand. "Principal, I'd like to add something." "Go ahead, Noah." "He deliberately provoked me in the cafeteria. The tray incident was accidental. In the courtyard, they surrounded me first. I reacted in self-defense. That's how his arm got injured. Right, Lar?" Her gaze locked onto him without wavering. "Why is—" Lar hid behind his father. Leon rubbed his chin. "Noah, I do think you made one mistake." Noah looked up at him, visibly hurt. Leon spoke calmly, as if giving tactical advice. "Next time, don't rush in. Target mobility. The knee, for example. Egg-born dragons lack explosive leg strength. Once unbalanced, they lose control." Noah nodded seriously. "Understood." She even took out a notebook and wrote it down. The red-haired dragon exploded. "Principal, did you hear that? He's openly teaching violence. Apologies aren't enough. This child should be expelled immediately." Wilson raised a hand. "Discipline decisions are made by the academy. Please remain quiet." Moreover, several students have reported that Lar frequently bullies live-born hatchlings. Last night in the cafeteria, multiple witnesses confirmed that Lar deliberately provoked Noah. The red-haired man flew into a rage. "You've lost your mind," he snapped. "Their daughter broke my son's arm, and instead of punishing her, you accuse my boy of provoking her?" Leon let out a cold laugh. "Have some shame. My daughter is 1 year and 2 months old. How old is your son with a broken arm?" The man stammered. "Why you don't get to ask how old my son is?" Lar muttered from behind him. 7 years and 11 months. Leon burst out laughing. "If that happened to me, I'd disappear and take that humiliation to my grave." The red-haired dragon roared. "You coward who doesn't even dare show his tail. What right do you have to judge my son? Your whole family is beneath us." As he spoke, he pointed directly at the Silver Dragon Queen and her children. Leon stepped forward and grabbed his finger. With a sharp twist, the man screamed in pain. "Insult me all you want," Leon said calmly, "but don't point at my wife and kids." The Silver Dragon Queen's lips curved slightly. "So he really is that protective?" The man glared at Leon, furious. "You dare lay hands on me? Do you know who I am? I'm a duke of the Crimson Flame Dragon clan. Our leader is Constantine." Leon shrugged. "Wow, terrifying." The Silver Dragon Queen finally spoke, her tone composed. "Sir, a school conflict between children does not warrant dragging family status and bloodlines into it. We trust the Academy's judgment and will accept whatever decision is made." Principal Wilson sighed inwardly. "That's true composure." Aloud, he said firmly, "Sir, if you continue causing disturbances, your son's enrollment may be revoked." Hearing this, the red-haired man finally backed down, his earlier arrogance completely gone. Lar also urged his father to let the matter rest. He still wanted to stay in school. In the end, the man forced a stiff apology, claiming he had simply lost his temper and would accept the Academy's ruling. Privately, however, he resolved to retreat for now and settle the score later, once they were outside school grounds. Principal Wilson glanced at him before continuing. Lar was at fault first. Noah's actions fall under excessive self-defense. The final decision is as follows. Noah will receive verbal guidance from her homeroom teacher and reflect on her conduct. Lar and the other two students will each submit a written self-criticism and take responsibility for classroom cleaning for 1 week. Outside the office, Noah waved to them and headed back to class. Before she left, Leon quietly reminded her, if they don't learn their lesson, go for the knees first. Just then, Principal Wilson suddenly called out to Leon from behind, startling him. "Is there something else, Principal?" Wilson looked puzzled. "We haven't met many times, but I've never once seen you reveal your tail." Leon stiffened, thinking his identity had been exposed. But Wilson simply continued, "I can't tell which noble dragon lineage you belong to. Would you mind telling me?" The Silver Dragon Queen immediately linked her arm with Leon's, smiling warmly. "You're overthinking it, Principal. My husband is just an ordinary dragon folk. Nothing noble about him." "That's right," Leon agreed. "Just a commoner." Watching the two of them in sync, Wilson sighed in admiration. "And yet, a union like yours produced such an exceptional child. Truly remarkable. The Academy welcomes children like this very much. You understand what I mean? I trust." Leon was confident that by the time Noah graduated, she would lead the dragon race to defeat even more dragon slayers. "When that day comes, I'll have to thank you properly, Principal." The red-haired man was still watching from a distance, fury boiling in his chest. He turned and left with his two lackeys, though it was clear he hadn't truly given up. Leon walked all the way to the Academy gates, preparing to head back to the Silver Dragon Sanctuary. That was when the red-haired man blocked their path. Judging by his posture, he'd been waiting there for quite a while. "Silver Dragon Queen, hold on a moment. Is there something else?" The Queen's tone carried a rare hint of impatience. She genuinely felt that speaking to someone like him was beneath her. The Academy has already issued its ruling. I see no need for further discussion. Please step aside. The red-haired man grinned like a street thug. That was just polite talk in the office. I was giving the Academy face. Now that we're outside, we settle things the dragon way. I challenge your husband to a duel. Right here. The Silver Dragon Queen glanced at the crowd of onlooking dragons behind her. If she refused, the Silver Dragon clan would surely be branded as cowardly and afraid to fight. Seeing her hesitation, the red-haired man sneered. "What? Scared already?" The queen leaned toward Leon and whispered, "With your current condition, can you still fight?" Leon rolled his shoulders eagerly, excitement flashing in his eyes. Since he asked for it himself, "There's no way I'm backing down." Before the duel began, the queen quietly reminded him to hold back. Killing the man outright would cause unnecessary trouble. Meanwhile, inside the Academy, Noah was holding a box of cookies she'd made in cooking class when she overheard two classmates talking about dragons fighting at the front gate. A bad feeling instantly rose in her chest. She hurried over, arriving just in time to see Leon facing off against Lar's father, the two clearly on the verge of battle. The red-haired man sized Leon up confidently. "He looks weak as hell, never even shows his tail. All talk, no strength. Since my son lost among the kids, it's only right that I, as his father, reclaim his honor." He boasted that the Crimson Flame Dragon clan never bullied others. If Leon could last 3 rounds, he would admit defeat. Leon dug a finger into his ear impatiently. Enough talking. Let's get started. That dismissive attitude nearly drove the red-haired man mad. He roared in fury. You've gone too far. With that, he launched forward, swinging a fist engulfed in flames straight at Leon. Leon dodged effortlessly. Just as I thought, this guy's weaker than most of the dragons I've fought on the battlefield. Leon grinned and held up 2 fingers. 2 rounds left. The red-haired dragon was caught off guard, but quickly convinced himself Leon had only dodged by sheer luck. This time, he slammed his fist straight into the ground. What? Hiding like a turtle now. Leon leapt into the air, cleanly avoiding the impact. The red-haired dragon opened his mouth and unleashed a blast of searing dragon fire. To Leon, that kind of attack meant nothing. Just as the flames were about to engulf him, Leon vanished and reappeared right in front of his opponent. That terrifying reaction speed made the red-haired dragon freeze in shock. At last, it was Leon's turn to strike. He snapped a sharp side kick straight into the man's lower leg joint. The dragon's knee buckled instantly, crashing to the ground in agony. The knee was a known weak point of the Crimson Flame Dragon clan. Leon clenched his right fist and followed through without hesitation. The punch landed squarely on the face, blood spraying from the dragon's mouth. His body was sent flying more than 10 meters away. Leon brushed the dust off his hands and sneered. Against trash like you, I don't even need magic. The 2 subordinates broke out in cold sweat. Duke Rail, are you all right? Leon flexed his fist and glanced at them. You 2 want to give it a try as well? They waved their hands frantically. No way. Then take your Duke and get lost. Touch my daughter again, and I won't let you off. As soon as he finished speaking, 2 toad-like dragons dragged the battered, red-haired man away in disgrace. Leon let out a long breath and turned, intending to discuss heading back to the Dragon Citadel with the Silver Dragon Queen. Instead, he was surprised to find his daughter standing right in front of him. Noah, when did you get here? Noah hid her excitement and replied casually, I just happened to pass by. Holding out a box of cookies, she said, These are for you. The queen accepted them with both hands, her face lighting up. You made these yourself? We learned it in cooking class. I only got 2nd place, but they might not taste that good. Please try them. The queen broke one in half and handed it to Leon. Of course they're good. Leon, try one. Leon took a bite and smiled sincerely. They're delicious. How could anything made by my daughter be bad? You'll get 1st place next time. Noah nodded, then gathered her courage. You were really cool just now. Hearing that praise face to face, Leon suddenly understood what it truly meant to be a father. He felt their bond grow even stronger, far better than receiving any gift. Leon laughed and scratched his head. Of course I was. Your old man's pretty strong. And see, I wasn't lying. Knees really are their weakness. If you ever want to learn more fighting techniques, just ask. Suddenly, the queen noticed a scrape on the back of Leon's hand, concern flashing across her face. Back at the Silver Dragon Sanctuary, Leon was in the nursery reading the complete guide to raising dragons, planning to read it to Muin the next day. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. The Silver Dragon Queen entered slowly, dressed in a surprisingly sexy nurse outfit, medical kit in hand. Leon asked her, confused, why she was here. She didn't answer. She simply sat down beside him. That instantly made Leon nervous. Don't tell me she's planning something again. Blushing slightly, the queen spoke softly. Your hand, it's injured, isn't it? Leon glanced down. Just a small scrape. It'll heal in a couple of days. The queen grabbed his hand firmly. Stay still. She took out some ointment, dipped a cotton swab into it, and carefully applied it to the wound. It stung a little, and Leon instinctively flinched. Don't move. It'll be over soon. Leon had fought countless battles as a seasoned dragon slayer, and injuries had always been something he brushed off with minimal care. This was the first time someone had treated his wounds with such patience and tenderness. The Silver Dragon Queen's palm was soft and warm, while her fingertips were slightly cool, sending a faint, ticklish sensation wherever they touched. Leon turned his head away, forcing himself to stop overthinking and trying to focus on anything other than the simple physical contact. The queen lowered her head and spoke softly. Thank you for today. For what? Leon asked, clearly puzzled as he looked at her. Back in the principal's office, Lars' father was being aggressive, and you stepped in to protect Noah and me. Leon let out a small laugh. It's just what a husband should do. If someone points a finger at my wife and insults her, there's no way I'd sit still. And honestly, it wasn't just for you. I was mainly thinking about Noah. The Silver Dragon Queen snorted lightly and brushed her hair behind her ear. I knew you'd say that. Oh, right, my sister sent a letter. She invited our whole family to visit her. Are you coming? Leon instinctively wanted to refuse, but the words took a sharp turn at the last second. Fine, I'll go. 2 days later, a sonic boom ripped through the clouds as a massive silver dragon tore across the sky and entered the Red Dragon clan's territory. The Silver Dragon Queen descended gracefully into the front courtyard of the Red Dragon Sanctuary. Leon slid down from the dragon's wing with Muin in his arms, while Noah followed close behind. The Red Dragon Queen, Isa, along with several dragon maids, had already been waiting. Xiao Luo, your dragon form is still insanely handsome. The once elegant Red Dragon Queen was already clinging enthusiastically to the Silver Dragon Queen's claw. A flash of light followed. The Silver Dragon Queen returned to her human form, yet still couldn't escape Isa's husky-like enthusiasm. You look amazing even like this. Sis, that tickles. Anyway, let me introduce them properly, the Queen said helplessly. This is my husband and our daughters. It's your first official meeting. This is my husband, Leon Casmode. Isa looked him up and down, then smiled. Nice to finally meet you awake. You really do suit Xiao Luo. Leon could only respond with an awkward smile. The Silver Dragon Queen continued the introductions. These are our daughters. Muin immediately greeted cheerfully. Hello, Annie. Meanwhile, the shy Noah stood close to her mother, visibly reserved. Muin jumped straight into her aunt's soft, sweet-smelling embrace. Isa laughed warmly. Let me guess. You're Muin, and the one behind you must be Noah, right? Little Noah, do you want Annie to give you a hug too? The Silver Dragon Queen had mentioned in her letters that Noah wasn't very talkative. Noah hesitated for a moment, then nodded softly. Isa wrapped one arm around Muin and the other around Noah, cuddling both sides until she looked completely overwhelmed. This is heaven. I can hug two adorable little dragon girls at the same time. Isa turned to Leon. Xiao Luo told me you usually take care of the kids. That must be exhausting. Thank you for all your hard work. Leon smiled. Not at all. I actually enjoy taking care of them, so the kids naturally feel closer to me. The Silver Dragon Queen raised an eyebrow dangerously. They're closer to me, aren't they? Leon immediately corrected himself. Right, closer to you. I'll give in. Did I ask you to? Isa couldn't help but admire them. Wow, you two really have such a great relationship. Hearing that overly generous praise, the couple instantly called a truce and replied in unison, it's fine. Isa waved it off, clearly used to this. All right. You've traveled a long way. You must be tired. Let's head inside. After dinner, everyone relaxed in the sitting room. Isa brought out a thick photo album and knelt in front of the two girls. Do you want to see pictures of your mom when she was little? Muin shot her hand up excitedly. I do. The Silver Dragon Queen panicked instantly and rushed over to grab the album. Sis, why do you still have those? Give it to me. Oh, is Xiao Luo getting shy? Isa exchanged a glance with Leon. The album flew through the air toward him, and Leon caught it effortlessly. He was already eager to uncover her childhood secrets. Nothing was more embarrassing than old photos. The Queen's face turned bright red. Wait, Leon froze as soon as he opened it. Honey, you had a side like this? What do you mean? She asked, stunned. Both girls immediately leaned in a look. Leon pulled out one photo. You look so energetic back in school. How did you end up so icy now? It showed her standing on stage as an outstanding student representative, wearing St. Zai's Academy's uniform skirt, silver hair tied in a neat ponytail, glowing with confidence. Embarrassed, the Silver Dragon Queen stomped on Leon's foot with her heel. Leon instantly sensed danger. You have no filter at all. Don't get smug. Sis might target you next. Isa stood behind the two girls, grinning. There are lots more photos from when your mom was little. She was so soft and squishy, absolutely irresistible. The girls eagerly flipped the album forward. As a baby dragon, the Silver Dragon Queen looked like a silver-haired blend of Noah and Muin. One photo showed her crying after being scared by a spider. Another had her sleeping with her thumb in her mouth. Another captured her heroic in battle. And the last showed her receiving an Academy Honor Certificate. Muin gasped, eyes sparkling. Mommy was so tiny. Muin wants to touch too. Muin excitedly flipped another page. Mom looks so cool in this one. Leon leaned in as well, curious. It was a photo taken on the day the Silver Dragon Queen officially inherited her title. Seated upon the throne, a silver crown on her head, she accepted the reverence of her people, radiant, dignified, and commanding. Leon couldn't help praising her. Honey, you really do look amazing. The Queen snorted softly, clearly pleased. After finishing the album, the girls still weren't satisfied. That's it? Muin wants to see more pictures of Mommy. The Silver Dragon Queen quickly took the album away. All right, that's enough. Sis, take it back and put it away. Unfortunately, she had underestimated just how mischievous her sister could be. After all, A rare family reunion was the perfect chance for ISA to express her love. She produced a crystal orb. Oh, we're not done yet. Take a look at this. Leon immediately raised his hand. I know this one. It's a recording stone. ISA added with a grin. Want to watch videos of your mom? Muin and Noah lit up instantly. Yes, yes. The Silver Dragon Queen pleaded softly. Sis, I'm begging you. For your little sister's sake, please don't play what's inside. Leon jumped in without hesitation. Sis, I'm begging too. For your brother-in-law's sake, please play it. His curiosity was out of control. The more she resisted, the more suspicious it became. ISA observed their reactions with satisfaction. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right then. Since Leon's visiting my place for the first time, we'll listen to him this time. Next time, we'll listen to Xiao Luo. Watching Leon's smug expression, the queen swore silently. Never again. I'm never coming here again. ISA activated the recording stone, and a clear image appeared in the center of the room. This footage is extremely rare, you know. The moment the Silver Dragon Queen recognized the scene, her entire body tensed. She reached out to cover Leon's eyes. You're not allowed to watch this. As if that could stop him. The image showed ISA asking her sister about romance for the first time. Xiao Luo, what kind of partner do you want in the future? At 18, the queen didn't fully understand love, but her standards were crystal clear. After thinking carefully, she answered seriously. First, they must outperform me academically. Ideally, someone who's won many first places or championships. They must be responsible and not dislike children, strong but never bullying others, and someone with their own principles, unaffected by race or outside opinions. Muin and Noah immediately got it. Mom's describing Dad, isn't she? Leon admitted it outright. Yep, she's talking about me. The Silver Dragon Queen shot back instantly. Have you no shame at all? ISA's eyes flickered thoughtfully. Those three standards are hard to find. Especially the last one. Power and authority tend to corrupt people. In the recording, the young Silver Dragon Queen gazed up at the galaxy, her voice steady, yet filled with quiet longing. If I can't meet someone like that, I'd rather stay single. If I ever get married, it'll only be to someone like that. The recording ended. Leon stared at her in disbelief. So, I was your ideal type all along. She turned her head away shyly. That was just something I said when I was young. Leon nodded knowingly. Sure. No need to be embarrassed. ISA, clearly satisfied, asked with a grin. So, who chased whom first? Both of them pointed at each other at the same time. They chased me first. Leon instantly sensed danger in the way she looked at him, the kind of look that promised payback later. He surrendered immediately. All right, she chased me first. I ignored her at first like an idiot, regretted it later, and ended up chasing her back. The queen snorted. That's more like it. ISA laughed. Your relationship really is great, so... Want to see the love letters Xiao Luo used to get? There were tons of them. Leon answered without hesitation. We absolutely do. The queen panicked. Sis, why do you keep those? Let me burn them. When it was time to rest, ISA arranged only one room for them. Inside was an enormous bathtub filled with rose petals. The pink bedsheets were even worse. Rose petals arranged into a giant heart. They froze. What is this supposed to be? The setup was painfully obvious. Blushing hard, the queen asked, Sis, what is going on? ISA smiled like a scheming fox. A special guest room I prepared just for you. You'll have to make do for the next couple of days. Is there another room? Oh, come on, you're married. What's there to be shy about? ISA had clearly seen right through her. Leon sighed inwardly. This sister was just as dangerous. Leon turned, intending to leave the room. ISA stopped him instantly. Brother-in-law, where do you think you're going? Leon claimed the kids might miss him. ISA waved it off. Everything regarding the children was already taken care of. ISA had clearly planned everything ahead of time. The kids were probably having the time of their lives. She had turned their bedroom into a miniature baby dragon playground. She laughed proudly. I've been preparing for this day for 2 whole years, relax and enjoy your night. Leon and the Silver Dragon Queen both let out helpless sighs. Looks like they were stuck sleeping in that room tonight. Leon muttered quietly. Didn't expect your sister to be this devious. She's always been like that, the queen replied calmly. You'll get used to it. While speaking, she opened the wardrobe, planning to grab a nightgown. Instead, the upper section was packed with all kinds of uniforms. She shut the door immediately. Leon blinked. Oh, what was that? The queen replied flatly. There's only one bed and one bathtub in this room. You'll be sleeping in the tub. Leon frowned, instantly that a bathtub was not a place for sleeping. But when he touched the mattress, something fell off. Wait a second. This was a waterbed? Leon flopped onto it, feeling the gentle waves beneath him. Haha, it's surprisingly bouncy. The queen added casually. Guess you're lucky then. Her sudden change in tone caught him off guard. You're not planning anything weird, are you? She clenched her fists in warning. Out of nowhere, she pulled out a whip. Feeling itchy? Want me to take care of you? Leon waved his hands frantically. Nope, absolutely not. She snorted. I'm taking a bath. No peeking. Leon scoffed. Like I would. Clearly unconvinced, she kicked him straight out of the room. Go take a walk and come back later. Humming to himself, Leon wandered down the corridor, looking for some fresh air. The moment he reached the rooftop, he froze. Isa was there alone, sipping red wine, her expression thoughtful under the night sky. She set her glass down gently. Why are you out here? Leon explained that Xiao Luo was bathing, so he stepped out for some air. Isa casually picked up another bottle of red wine. How about having a drink with me? Leon agreed without hesitation. Sure. She poured wine into both glasses. This is Xiao Luo's favorite. Then she handed one to Leon. Thanks. Isa suddenly grew nostalgic. Back then, Xiao Luo and I would sometimes drink and chat here. You two must be really close. She let out a quiet sigh. I practically raised her. For the first 50 years after she was born, she lived with me. After she became the Silver Dragon Queen and left, we could only exchange letters to let each other know we were safe. A year ago, she suddenly told me in a letter that she'd married a low-profile Dragon King, a secret marriage, and she was pregnant. I congratulated her, but she didn't sound happy at all. Her words felt heavy, almost lonely. She said your health wasn't good, that you were asleep most of the time and couldn't stay by her side. During the pregnancy, it was only the maids taking care of her. You should know this. Carrying twins is far harder than a single child, both during pregnancy and delivery. Isa's words pulled Leon back into old memories. Back then, the Silver Dragon Queen had been forced to carry the child of her sworn enemy. She endured the entire pregnancy alone, with only letters to her sister to ease her anxiety and despair. Those days must have felt endless to her. Is suddenly slapped Leon on the shoulder. The IT startled him and snapped him out of his thoughts. At the time, I honestly thought she'd married some irresponsible, lazy trash of a male dragon. Leon laughed awkwardly. Do I really look like that kind of dragon? Of course not, Isa replied firmly. And after spending just a night with you, I'm even more convinced Xiao Luo chose the right partner. She truly cares about you. Her words left Leon stunned. Did the Silver Dragon Queen really like him that much? He found it hard to believe. Thinking about how fierce she usually was, how she loved punishing him at every turn, it just didn't seem likely. Maybe it didn't fully understand her own sister either. Seeing Leon fall silent, Isa assumed he was just shy. Leon let out a soft sigh in front of her sister. He figured it was better to keep up appearances. So he scratched his neck and laughed. Yeah, you're right, that we're definitely in love. Isa beamed and patted his shoulder excitedly. I could tell just by how you two interact that you're relaxed around each other. They're not just spouses, you're friends. Xiao Luo is terrible at expressing her feelings. Aside from me, you're the first person that she's ever treated with such sincerity. All of a sudden, Isha's gaze turned sharp. You're a man who knows responsibility. What comes next? I don't need to spell it out, right? Judging by her tone, if he dared say he didn't understand, she'd kill him on the spot. Bai Yijiang straightened up immediately. I'll take good care of the Silver Dragon Queen. I promise. Sis, you can trust me with your sister. I wasn't there for the first child. If there's a second, I'll guard my wife and kids with my life. Seeing his head lowered and his expression serious, Isha snorted softly. You'd better mean that. Then she shoved his shoulder. All right. Enough showing off. Little Luo's probably been waiting forever. Go on. He had barely taken a few steps when she called out again. Sis, anything else? She covered her mouth and grinned. Don't hold back tonight. That room's soundproofing is excellent. Bai Yijiang was speechless. You're the real Silver Dragon Queen here. My sincere thanks. Back in the room, it was dead quiet. He softly called out to the Silver Dragon Queen. No response. Stepping closer, he realized she'd already fallen asleep. Nice. Looks like you wouldn't be tormented tonight. Truth be told, he liked watching her sleep. In the stillness of the night, a faint fragrance lingered in the air, and she looked like someone straight out of a painting. Even though they were sworn enemies, he couldn't deny it. And before he knew it, he was staring. Suddenly, a soft purple glow flickered beneath the blanket over her chest. Don't tell me the dragon's sigil activated. I'm not ready to suffer. But there was no reaction from his own sigil at all. Curious, he lifted the blanket slightly, only to find a purple ambient light. The Silver Dragon Queen slowly opened her eyes and smiled. Hi, how my ass? You scared the hell out of me. Why would you hide a light under the blanket? She giggled. Found a fun little toy in the wardrobe earlier. Thought I'd mess with you." Judging by that reaction, disappointed, Bai Yijiang shut his eyes tight and shook his head. "Not all. Don't get the wrong idea." He turned his back to her. "I'm sleeping. Don't talk to me." She laughed, clearly seeing through him. "Careful. You might regret that. And don't attack me in the middle of the night." Just then, her arm brushed against something. A black, furry spider appeared in front of her. She let out a shrill scream, and Bai Yijiang instantly turned around. Before he could ask anything, a warm, soft body threw itself into his arms. She clung to him tightly, eyes glistening. There's a spider. He suddenly remembered a photo from earlier, her crying as a young dragon after being scared by a spider. He teased her first, so the Silver Dragon Queen had fears too. Then he reached out. It's fine. I'll take care of it." But the moment he touched it, the texture fell off. Less fur, more rubber. Wait, was this another one of Isha's setups? After removing this spider, she was still shaken. She insisted he sleep on the outside, while she took the inner side. Concerned, Bai Yijiang quietly asked if she wanted to hold his hand while sleeping.